going for the base threat use the stuff from this?
I don't know what half this means.
Okay.
We'll find out when we read something about...
After we mix them all in and know that we need to keep them separate?
We'll open one of these and we'll go, oh.
Fair.
There is somewhere in the instructions that's like, card 304, right? Pick, and there will be like 3 or 4 cards, 304. It might be that these are just like another alternate in there. Of like, choose one of the 4 that are labeled 304. And there's actually even an order in which you choose them in. And so it could be that we just randomly throw those in there, and that's what and those sometimes happen and sometimes don't.
Fair enough.
That's my assumption off of the little bit I got out of the instructions.
Okay, we're doing it.
Are we live? We're gonna do it live.
We've done it.
We already did it?
We are live.
Yeah. This is a rerun.
Do I get a clapboard or anything? In 3, 2.
Oh shoot, what happened?
This is not my fault. I didn't do this.
Oh, that was something else. One of my network drives disconnected. That's fine.
So we're not on the internet anymore?
No, we're good.
Yeah, okay.
Hang on.
Do we want any story or we just go at it? 1 to 4 players, ages 14 plus. I'm kind of excited. You have to understand, I bought this game 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. There is a little bit of excitement when you buy something 3 years in advance and it finally show up, and then you've left it wrapped up at your friend's house. You're like, I don't even get to open it.
Oh, I should have just opened it all up and pulled it all out before you guys showed up. That would so great.
It was already set up.
Yeah,
you had already set everything up. Everything's configured. It's all set up to go. That would have been really funny.
Oh, that would have been the best.
I don't even know how to have been mad at you about that.
Yeah. But you would have been in some way.
I'd try. Here we go.
Go for it.
Welcome to the unboxing.
Who's the bomb of some kind? Oh, dang.
It's not a bong.
Confetti everywhere.
That's what the Kickstarter said. A bong, but that's not what it was.
I'm pretty sure we can't say bomb on YouTube also or something like that.
That's not legal yet?
No.
For all I know, that's a bookmark. Oh, this is a bookmark. I know. This is a bookmark for the leaflet.
Ooh, bookmarks.
Okay. Here's where we start, I guess. Card number 000. Triple lock. Ready?
Go for it.
Dear backer. That's me.
Good job.
Yeah. The adventure, which could never have been performed without your support, is now entering its final stage. We would like to express our gratitude to you, both for the trust you placed in us and for your patience. The Seventh Citadel was a titanic undertaking, first because it was such a narrative dimension, approximately 250,000 words, twice as many as the Seventh Continent, but also because the improvements made to its gameplay, particularly the use of the Take This Card If Available in the Adventure Deck icon, which enabled us to remove a large number of unnecessary cards, replaced with high-value written and or illustrated cards. Through this note, we also want to thank all those who worked on the project: Erwan, Pierre, Ian, Matthew, Henry, blah, 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 as well as every tester and blah, 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 blah. It is now time for you to set off and explore from Ludovic and Bruno. Made by Serious Pulp.
Wes, you were one of 33,353 backers.
That actually sounds like a pretty small number.
But they raised €3,289,904
Yeah.
with a goal of only €300,000.
Yeah. There was a lot of backers.
That's a factor of 10 that they met their.
Wow.
They met by a factor.
It was
of 10.
not the least expensive board game or any kind of game
$200?
that I've ever bought.
Tell us what was your pledge?
I think my pledge ended up either like 130 or 170. I can't remember which.
Wow.
I could look it up, but it was not the least expensive game I've ever purchased. But that's also all the expansions. I have all the expansions. Another threat. We don't really know what that means. So this is the actual rule book. So, viewers, all of us have attempted to read the rules at this point. I got all the way to the end. I think Drew got
I got to page 13.
3/4 of the way,
12,
halfway
maybe.
through. I don't think any of us understood
I
them.
made like 4 or 5 pages in. And
I
was
probably
like,
should have made another attempt, but I didn't.
None of us understood them. I read the whole thing, and it's like, well, I hope once I see the cards, some of this makes sense.
I
So
got
here's
as
the-
far as action resolution steps.
I made it. Yeah, I made a printed
Gear
copy
up,
for
draw
Drew to take a
result.
shot at on the way over here. So here's the rule book that we may have to read again to try to understand how this game even plays. This, I believe, is the map. This is the map of some place. A place.
I've never been to some place.
A place that we're going to explore. And I think we slide cards into these
It's
little
The collapsing
plastic
lands.
bags. That sounds familiar. The collapsing lands. A lot of people received these, and there was a hole right here in the plastic where it had been folded over too many times. So I'm hoping this eventually
Well, it's
just
looks very durable.
flattens out.
Speaking of which, look, I mean, it's very thick. It's almost like it's even thicker than a waterproof
I
map.
felt like you were about to do like a bite test or something. Like people bite gold.
Very thick. It's like,
2 C's or 1?
I don't know. It's very thick though.
2 teeth? What?
C's.
2 C's.
Thick
or
with
1.
2 C's. It's
Both.
don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's good looking
If
too.
you don't understand the reference, just don't worry about it.
It's one of them new
not worth
internet things.
I know what
probably.
thick means.
Okay.
Yeah, but he doesn't.
Two
I'll
C's.
save it for
Oh,
him.
you
not
don't?
very smart. There's a lot of things I don't know. My
Well-
kids say all kinds of words now. I don't know what any of them mean.
Yeah.
Matt's daughter had like a whole sentence of what sounded like
You understood
random gibberish.
You understood 5% of it.
I didn't know what. At first, I thought she was speaking. She's in Chinese immersion. I thought she was speaking Chinese at first, and then I realized that some of them were English words, just never mixed together like that before. But apparently, it meant something.
Yeah, it's crazy. Just
It didn't
what they
really
have-
mean something. It was just a string of just slang words,
It's just a string of slang words, so it really was just gibberish.
pretty much.
You know, if I didn't have any teenagers,
This has something to do
I
with the
wouldn't
tracking. Of
I
the
wouldn't
game.
have learned. I wouldn't know those words without social media
No.
because I don't hang out with
This has something to do with
I'm
tracking.
not hanging out with
We're gonna
teenagers
track
unless
things.
they're my own kids.
Oh. Do we have an official reader, or
It's
You.
not me.
are we going to take turns reading?
I think you're the official reader.
So we're going to read this
Who has
book.
the best voice? I like your voice, Brandon.
Actually,
Just because you have a good voice doesn't mean you're good at reading.
Oh.
Just saying.
I'm fairly literate, but I don't sound good.
I don't sound good. I'm always
Wes is trying
I'm
to
always
pawn
very
it off
I'm always very
someone.
self-conscious about my voice.
He was
Yeah.
like,
Like so hard.
who's gonna volunteer? And looked right at Drew.
me. Wow.
This sounds
You
familiar.
want me to read
A
all
new
of this?
beginning. We saw this in the
We're supposed
instructions.
to- that-
This is where we start. Whatever this is.
Are we done unboxing now?
No. We're going to start there.
This is where we start.
Here's a threat.
Here's
a threat.
with the introductory scenario. Every time.
I assume
we're
if you
supposed to start
open
with
this
that.
box, there is something similar to this in there.
Okay.
Another threat of some kind. Oh, this is where the fun starts. Okay, look. I have a foam block.
Save that.
This is probably where all the expansions go, is where that foam block is sitting. So what we're going to do, 2 foam blocks. See, 2 for the price of 1. We're never going to
I
hack
know what I'm
that.
getting you for Christmas.
Just a box of stuff.
Just a box of foam blocks.
Dude, Brenly's going to love it when I give her those next Christmas, all wrapped up. This is our characters of some kind. Who's our punch-out person? Who's doing the punching out?
Sure.
Are you reading instructions? We need
Well-
you to know the instructions.
I was gonna start reading the rule summary.
Yeah,
Just
you're
to,
not
like-
reading right now. You go ahead and start punching out things.
Oh, oddly satisfying.
I think these are some kind of separator card thing of like as we
Oh, nice.
do stuff, the cards
That'd
will
get
go
fun to it.
in between these things. So we'll understand that in a little bit. On the edge of peril is, hey, another expansion. See, I did get more expansions. We're gonna open the expansion later.
Oh,
Let's
yeah,
set
that
the
felt
expansion
good.
aside.
That felt good. Yeah. All right. What are these again?
Actually, those are the only things to punch out, luckily.
Good thing we assigned someone to
Yeah,
be the
good thing so.
puncher out.
Yes. Yeah, everybody's got to have a role.
Really?
I want you all to feel included in my madness. This is a plastic container of stuff. I believe those are health dials. And here's our actual characters.
Yeah, life point counters.
These are character
What
figures.
these mean, I don't know,
These are-
because we also have these.
There's cardboard figures and plastic figures.
We have both. I don't know. If there's more to get out in there, probably not more punch out, but like maybe that needs to be resolved.
Look at these poly bags.
Okay.
Ooh.
I'm always admire a tabletop game with proper poly bags.
What happened to the focus?
Are
I'm
the
almost
ones that are just going to like disintegrate as soon as you
yeah.
open them?
I bought myself a bunch of poly bags, different sizes for this very purpose. You know, because sometimes what they come with is just not quite good enough. It's too thin, but a poly like this, those are nice.
Those are nice.
At this point, I'm going to get a little lost. Here we have a pack of cards, followed by a pack of cards, and then a pack of cards, and a pack of cards, pack of cards.
These are
pack
the
of cards,
adventure cards.
cards,
Yeah, adventure
cards, cards. Hold on. Wait, that's just the first stack.
There should be 726 of these.
Then there's another pack of cards. Pack of cards. Pack of cards. Pack of. No, the cards changed.
Those are now exploration cards.
Okay,
These.
adventure cards.
Are they numbered at least?
Yes,
These
adventure
are numbered.
cards.
There's
The ones that
something
have like
important about
this
these numbers.
green numbering are adventure cards
Are they all? Let's say this is 50.
with green or gold back. Is what
50
it's
to
gonna be.
83. This is 13 though. Do you think this is like 13 to 49 maybe? One can only hope.
Yeah, see, these are the same. Are they-
Because in that way, we don't really have to open them until we need a card out of that pack, right?
Yeah.
Because that would make this a lot faster if we don't need to open all of them right now. So let's say 0, 13, 13, 14, 18, 26, 30, 30, 30, 40. They do seem to be in order, all the way up to 50. But then there's more 50s. Okay. What's the worst that could happen? 0, 0, 0 to 50. That's our first set right there.
Wow.
Okay, so we will open these when they're necessary. These may need to be put in order. Garbage. Okay, so what did you say these are? Are these are
Exploration
events, I
cards.
think.
Exploration cards.
Exploration. Adventure and exploration. Exploration.
151 of those.
Okay, and then this one might need to open. Blue
Those-
stuff.
Those
Those
are
are
action
the-
cards.
the
I
action
think
cards.
we're gonna actually
Yeah.
need these. These have something to do with your actual character. Where you have a certain number of these or something, and you play them when you're doing an action or something like that, right?
Well, as you're pulling them to complete an action, you're spending energy. So I think it might be a collective deck that when it's chosen to be your turn, you're just drawing from that. And how many you can draw, it depends on how much energy you have.
Wait.
So those are character cards.
We probably want those. Let's say we want those.
These are,
Those are
there should
safe
be 8 save cards,
places.
2 of each color.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
Wait, did everyone hear that?
So we could have like a save game.
Can you say that again?
I don't think anybody heard it. It probably didn't even happen. Reroll the tape. Or editor,
I said I was right.
cut all that.
And then you'll have 32 divider cards.
That might be these. Wait. Reflex? No, these are action. Oh, look at that. Those have the stars on that it was talking about.
These almost look like more exploration
Like
cards.
this, like Sneeches?
What'd you call me?
Yeah.
Immediately
Stars
after
upon
this
bars?
is revealed, you get 2 during the sequence step. 2 something. Okay. That's garbage. These are more action?
More action cards.
I think we need all these.
So character cards tell you about your character. Save cards are used to save the game.
Also known as leave everything alone and walk out the door.
Yeah. Each player will have a personal action deck made only of action cards. These represent the life force you are spending when drawing to pay the cost of your actions, or when an in-game effect compels you to discard them.
say the
They
same.
represent skills you have when in your hand. So maybe it is dealt out to each character.
Well, is there a character that's...
The cards with
maybe
a
they're color oriented, right? Because these are all blue.
All action cards are blue.
Dang it.
Exploration cards are events that occur randomly as players explore the collapsing lands, which is this map.
Adventure cards?
The exploration cards.
Exploration cards.
Go into a certain area. Okay. Adventure cards, the green or gold numbered cards contain the terrains you'll discover as you explore. So this giant stack of stuff. Predefined events can trigger items you can find, and many more surprises to be discovered through those. The terrain cards, which are apparently different. I don't know what we've seen.
The
of
terrain cards are
Are these the
There
terrain
might
cards?
be the other...
with the fog.
There's maps on the other side of
These-
some of these. I think it's... The adventure cards have... The others... no, I saw someone where there's like a map thing on the back of one of these. Or not. I don't know.
Terrain cards are portions of the collapsing lands that form the board. Permanent event cards are put into play on the board after being revealed. They are attached to a terrain card. And then there's a bunch of temporary events.
Okay, so terrain cards and events are all part of
Adventures?
the adventure cards.
Okay, so they're
as well
in
as
this deck
purse,
somewhere.
quest item,
As-
and world map. Those are all.
So they're all
Part
in
of
these.
adventure cards?
Yeah, that's what it says here.
So on the back of some of these is going to have a map then.
Oh, okay.
Of things that...
Gotcha.
Different things happen on different of the adventure
Oh, it says
cards.
right here, adventure cards include the various type of cards. Terrain, permanent events, and
there's a map.
temporary events. Okay, I just missed that part. As well as global events, purse items, quest items, and world map cards.
You have the dividers.
I
Because the
do.
dividers must be for dividing these types of cards.
Yeah, so you'll see
They all
that...
go in here.
Yeah, so if you'll take...
Are these the
I don't know if we
dividing
need to
cards?
open all of them, but like this one goes...
I think we're supposed to open all of them.
Just like this one goes here.
Are these the dividing cards?
No, these are
Those
save
are
cards.
saves, all
We
of
need
them
someone
saved.
who's really good at opening cards.
All 700. Actually, there's way more cards than that.
There's
There's
a lot
only
of cards
700.
going
How
on here.
How many adventure cards were there?
Oh yeah, we totally got this. 119.
726 adventure cards. Those are these.
And we're going to read every single one of them in the next 3 years, just
150
like we did for Gloomhaven.
151 explorer cards, which are those.
Behind the character divider, put 4 character cards. Behind the save divider, put the save cards. Behind the character skills divider, store 84 character skill blue back action cards identified by the blue hand symbol in the top left corner. Behind the advanced skills, store the 76 advanced skill cards.
You're going too fast. Hold on. Read
You're
slow.
not, you're not keeping up with
No,
all
I'm
this?
not.
You're not done with all
read,
that yet?
Read slower.
So you got the save divider.
I got up to save. They're not oriented correctly because I had to rush.
Well, it sucks for you.
So
should've been
they're not
faster.
oriented correctly.
Behind
But-
the character skills divider,
Yes.
you'll store 84 character skill blue back action cards
We need-
identified by a blue hand
We
symbol.
need the ones with hands. Look, hands. Is that a hand? Does the hand symbol look like that?
Yes.
Hand symbol.
These are all.
You'll need the ones with the A and the X symbol on it. It's not just blue hand, sorry.
What?
There's a blue hand with like a little A at like the wrist
Okay.
and X.
An X.
Identified by the blue hand icon on the front top left corner containing the character's initials A, B, C, D, or the letter X.
Okay, so first after advanced skills, we want the ones that have an X. Is that what you're saying?
In that divider, looks like A, B, C, D, or X.
All of them?
Yeah.
What about the ones that don't have any letter there? Does it say anything about those?
There's different ones. There's like a garland horseshoe looking icon
Yes.
that goes in a different divider. And then
Okay.
there's an R one that goes in a different divider.
Oh. Reflexes.
Yes.
Ah, okay. Look, the instructions do make more sense once we have the cards. Garland. I'm not seeing any.
we're looking for
There's an
garland?
X.
You're looking for A, B, C, D, or X for this first divider.
X. D. Okay. Do you have A, B, C, and D?
Where would that be?
On
This guy.
At the wrist of the blue hand.
I bet you
top left
have.
corner.
Okay, you have all of them.
I see.
You have all of them. Look,
C,
we're
C,
gonna
C,
go.
C, D, D. Oh, those are D's. Okay,
Yeah.
so A, B, C, D.
So we're yeah, and this goes DX, like that. Then that. Bam! Advanced skills.
Nope, that's behind the character skills one.
Just move
Bam,
just
behind.
Just move the divider.
Character skills. I'm about to just start stacking them in different places on the table. Yeah, advanced. What goes in advanced skills?
Advanced skills is the garland.
Okay. I'm doing this wrong,
Maybe
aren't I, Drew?
turn the other way. Or I don't know. Which way should we? What orientation should they be?
I
One
think
that
you're
allows
right.
you to possibly read the
you're
top
right.
of it best. I don't know.
I'm gonna go with what you were saying.
Next is reflex skills.
All these are coming out of there.
There's bow staff skills.
No, I'm trying.
Reflex skills.
Is the R icon.
Bam.
Should be about
Unboxing
24 of those.
skills.
I believe you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 24. Got him.
Next, store the exploration cards foggy side towards you, behind the divider, matching the respective areas, hash, Roman numeral 1, Roman numeral 2, etc. There's a
Exploration.
yeah.
Oh.
There's this kind of
Hash 1. So what order?
They go
Hash
here.
and then 1.
like hash 1, 2 through the numbers.
Yep.
I don't know
You
why.
want the foggy side towards you. I'm assuming to hide what it says or something like that.
We need the hash ones.
Okay. Hash.
Just the hash ones.
Hash.
Then the 1.
1.
Then the I know my 1s.
Here's more
I know my
ones.
2s. I know my 3s. Oh, a finger man.
I don't know that reference.
It is old.
Like
It
you.
must have been before your time. You guys never saw a movie called Stand and Deliver in your math class?
Standard deliver.
Stand and Deliver?
Oh yeah.
Where this guy teaches calculus. Olmos. Actually, it's Edward
James.
James Olmos, also known to you as Captain Adama.
Oh, I know him.
Captain Adama
Sorry, I should.
taught calculus to like in some underprivileged city or something, right?
Riveting.
It's like
This is pretty
it
good.
actually calculus is really exciting.
Well,
Well, it's a good drama, you know.
It actually is
These
pretty
inner city kids, and it's based on a true story.
Need my
They,
need my 3s.
you know, they go from becoming bangers to.
I'm assuming doing like this is going to help us get to cards quicker
I'm hoping
during
so.
things like that.
Otherwise, we're gonna have a stack for each one of these.
I mean,
the
we
other
could just
option.
lay it out like right
That's
here.
the other alternate I'm just currently contemplating of like,
We'll cross that.
let's see
bridge.
how this
We'll,
works.
we'll stick with this for now.
Let's do it their way first, and then we'll
We
realize
saw how
that
quickly the way the last game devolved into how we were using things.
we'll do it. Listen, we follow instructions first, and then we're like, what
Then
they
we
didn't
optimize.
realize is that we have more
permanent setup.
space than they do. They're trying to make this work for everybody, and we're not everybody. Man, the numbers just keep going. 7. You have 7s? All right, let's pull these
Wait.
out now.
I'm assuming we'll eventually use another one of these to then sort out the adventure
Sorry,
cards.
there's more 7s.
there's 2 more shoe boxes.
Because after this, we'll have to sort the adventure cards.
You probably have even more 7s than that somewhere. Probably in that deck.
I think they call those things shoes, right? The thing like that holds cards. They're
I don't know.
called shoes.
You got 8.
Those are the 8s?
8.
So,
As
if
many
you
as
watch this movie, do you learn calculus?
No.
Dang it.
At no point. At no point do they teach calculus in that movie that I recall.
I was actually helping someone with calculus last night
I think I watched it during like
in a Discord.
middle school.
Someone was just like, help, and posted this
10.
like these derivatives, and everyone was like, ew, what's that? And like all this confusion. I was like, I actually know what that means.
How does that? I mean, that kind of looks like it could be dealt with and accessible. What goes? Okay.
Next is
let's say we've
sort-
got all of those.
Okay, next we sort adventure cards, green or gold backed, towards you in ascending order of their number backs and store them behind the appropriate dividers. 0 to 49 behind divider, 0 to 50, 99 to whatever behind 50 to whatever.
What orientation? The numbers facing us?
The
or
green or
away?
gold back towards you.
So like 0 to 50 is right there. Here's the start of 50.
So I'm assuming this side towards you rather than whatever's on the back. So yeah, this side towards you.
We have great gold.
what have you
gold?
got? Try. Is those in some kind of?
I'm
order?
assuming in some of those decks there's going to be gold
You have
ones.
0, 1. I was looking for that
Yeah.
one.
But I'm assuming
Assume
they're
for like
I'm
15.
assuming they're almost pre-divided
Is
by
there
their
a-
packaging.
They're
Like a
close.
0, 0?
They're in order, but it's not through the same order as the dividers.
0.
So it was like 0, 1 through 14 or 12. Then it was like 13 through part of 50, and then 50
Here's
took
the gold-
on
here's
in
the gold
another.
one.
So it was
Yeah,
like
so there's
like
the
here's
gold one,
50,
yeah.
So
right?
green or gold facing away.
Facing towards you.
Okay.
To keep this backside hidden.
Here.
Hold on, these are.
What do you
next.
have? Is that
50
the
to
50
83.
there? Oh, okay.
I'm gonna have to learn math soon, probably.
Well, this is just counting, hopefully.
Because AI models involve formulas.
Ooh, formulas are always fun.
What's the
Like-
next divider we have? 100?
There is the thing where people just throw like formulas in there. I'm like, let's see how well this trains. See if it's accurate. Let's try something else.
Just like trial by error.
yeah,
And 100.
but
Okay.
like
And then we've got 100.
150. Find it. There's a 150 in there somewhere.
Yeah, knowing
but knowing
this,
the
this
actual
cards only go to
formulas and how they work,
119. So there's
you
got
know,
to be like a
behind
119.
each
That one.
layer
Yep.
of the
That's what we need.
neural network is actually pretty useful. So you use the right layers in the right order and stuff.
yeah, and sometimes even just knowing it, having worked with like advanced formulas in math, can sometimes make putting together just like simpler ones or just being able to look at one and kind of understand what's going on with it way easier. I found
Yeah.
when it comes to just regular basic programming.
Right, because there was like one I was trying to do. I'm like, all I really need is a circle. Here's the formula. I'll just do a circle because I was trying to do like combine a linear with this ReLU and then some
There's
other
your
weird things.
154.
And I'm like,
Yep.
we just need a circle. And so I just need like,
Hey, why
Up
don't you
to-
just
the
bring
thing
those
for the
out
radius.
until we're ready.
Uh,
so I was
Yeah,
like, I'll
probably
just
need
use
those
this
up
formula.
to
So I like
200.
manually created my own neural layer, and like it worked perfectly.
nice.
I'm like, why screw around with these? You know what I mean? Because people do like just guess. Like, well, this
Oh, wow.
if I combine enough of these, it'll
Yeah.
eventually learn the right thing.
There you
but
go.
like,
That's a lot of
or
199,
you
wasn't
could
it?
just
Maybe that
you
means
know,
something.
Yeah.
do
Like,
a
those are all the really cool
formula.
items or
So
something.
I'm starting to realize that I should know what they at least do and know how to maybe like customize my own formulas if needed.
Yeah.
So that means math, and it makes me sad.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
250?
2 to 250. Oh, perfect.
And Elon
Okay.
Musk released his like large language model thing that their team has been working on. It's like,
Just made it public.
yeah, he's like, it's open source, so it's
Yeah, like 250 to.
290.
pretty much the answer to what Google did, whereas they
Oh,
made theirs
okay.
all stupid and biased, and they threw a bunch of crap in there. Whereas like, no, this needs to be very plain and open source, just a large language model. So here you go, world. But it's so huge.
Bad.
Okay. Let's pretend like that is another shoebox. Oh, wait. Oh, yes. Exactly what you did. This is why I brought Drew.
Yes.
This is why. he tore through these bags, man.
Yes.
Look at this. These empty bags.
Yeah, and we've said nothing about the mess he's left on the table.
That's because he's doing such a good job.
I know, we don't want to interrupt it by him like trying to clean it up.
This is unboxing, right?
You have
I did one wave of it.
50?
I'll be afraid to put
We got a
like
problem.
Pokemon cards in your hand.
Or 350.
Destroyed.
Do you not have 350 you want?
Okay.
Oh, that is 350. Okay.
350.
So now I'm really curious as to this expansion on the Edge of Peril. If we add that directly in, is that just more cards in some of these slots?
My guess is they may have the same numbers, but I bet you they're different colors, maybe, or style.
Other options. 350 up to, you got like a 399 in there? No? 383, 397, 398. You don't have a 399?
No.
Okay. This expansion contains 2 dividers and 30 cards bearing a unique ID number. Okay. If you choose to play with the expansion on the Edge of Peril, not recommended on your first play. Come on. We beat the dragon on hardest difficulty, and I'm not sure we even got hit. I mean, come on. How hard could this...
I think you're right.
I stunned almost... You two got hurt by the starting drakes a little
Oh, that's
bit.
right.
But
Did I get hit by the dragon?
not by the dragon. The dragon touched nobody. He tried to hit our summon
He
once.
hit our summons once or twice.
That's it. He didn't even kill a summon. He couldn't even kill my summon.
No,
Right.
one of your summons died at one point.
Yeah, I don't think he killed it. I think his summons did.
Oh, his little minion guys.
So like when it says, yeah, not recommended for your first time. We're not first timers.
Yeah, we are.
We're amazing. Are we not? Are you not entertained?
During the game, you will store any... Oh, there's like book cards or something behind or on the quest items dividers. Any discarded adventure or exploration cards behind or on the past divider. So there's going to be a quest items divider and a past divider, as well as a banished card divider.
Here's the past divider. You know where the past now is? Okay, what other things
Present.
do we have a
Banished
divider?
and quest item divider.
Okay, those also go here and here. Done. We put those in the dividers.
What are these?
This is the
Your
expansion.
expansion, okay.
We don't have anything for those yet, though. I assume we picked those up through the adventure cards.
Let's keep the expansion separate. Put it back in its box.
No,
Put it back in its box.
It dared me.
Put it
dared
back
me
in
and
its
said,
box.
"What are you,
You little
chicken?"
gremlin.
Said, "What are you, chicken?"
Gremlin. Put it back in the box.
My game.
Let's set up the game first. Maybe play a scenario and then maybe pull out the expansion.
Still gonna read it. Prepare the adventure cards in the game box before you start your game. And the same guidelines as the cards from the base game, but making sure that for each number, green adventure cards are placed before gold adventure cards. Place the Edge of Peril divider behind 130 in the adventure deck. So it would go like here. Okay. Take a 490 card. Okay, yep, that just went somewhere where I didn't know what it meant. You win today. But know this. We have 3 expansions, and we're going to stick all of them in there.
So the board
We're not going to play just part of the game I bought. We're going to play the whole game I bought. We're gonna put all of it in there after we have any freaking clue.
Once we
doing.
know what we're doing, perfect. I'm up to the challenge.
I feel like I should photocopy this and just do a photocopy of it instead of. Do I still have pencils here? Okay.
Oh, these have little inserts. Okay. The world map shows what the world looked like during the golden age of the Kel something word. It contains invaluable, often outdated information about important places, but it can be updated through the insertion of feather cards that you may obtain by making progress on the Destiny page of the Citadel leaflet. So at some point,
That's the Citadel.
so this isn't necessarily the board we play on. This is like an information map
This is our destiny.
where we will be able to insert stuff to have better information on things.
Is that my density?
My density has brought me to you.
The actual board we'll be playing off of is going to be made up of
cards.
terrain cards
Oh.
that we reveal as we play. So this isn't the main
Yeah.
board and shouldn't be like the center, but should be
reference.
like a reference for us for like information in some way.
Okay.
There's a dialogue book that contains the dialogue between characters and non-player characters that you may encounter.
We don't have to come up with our own dialogue.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, they're gonna
The
role play
threats-
for us this time. Luckily.
The threat booklet and bookmark. Each threat booklet contains scenarios, and the bookmark will indicate our current location. Banished card areas. All cards that are banished during the game must be stored behind this divider. Past area, adventure, and exploration cards that are discarded during the game must be stored behind that divider. The Citadel leaflet, which looks like a skill tree. This is page 8 of the leaflet, where you record your group's progress. Destiny page. The buildings you may build or have built, buildings page, or the advancements in your side quest page, and your scores/levels for multiple characters, community page. So all that stuff is recorded in there. We have our adventure decks and exploration decks.
This is the
that we
actual
just-
game board.
I
Right
now
there.
want to see a series of videos where you try to do unboxings and stuff, like reviews on Amazon or something, and you just flip stuff around so fast no one can see anything.
I'm a professional.
New beginning.
Have you seen that video? There's a lady who got paid. I think it was like close to $100,000 for like displaying products on her YouTube channel. But she got such an influx that she's like, I'll do it, but each item gets like 5 seconds max of screen time. And so she has like assistants out the side, and she literally has a box. It's like pre-opened for her, and she opens up the thing, drops it, switches off.
Is this Asian?
Yeah.
I saw that video.
Did you see that video? She's like pulling out like shirts. She's like, this is a shirt, and this is a cool skirt, and this is a game, and then this is a thing. And she's
It
just
was
like
literally
going
1
through.
second. It was like literally just enough.
Yeah, and she was getting like $100,000 for each item she was reviewing for that video, or something like that. Just to like be on her YouTube channel for like a second, and it was like
She's like China's like main
main influencer, something
30
like
million
that.
subscribers, and
Yeah. Anyways, back to going through everything. We have the decks all divided out. We should have life point counters, which are the little triangle things.
Wait.
these. Yeah.
Yes.
Light point counters.
Yep.
See, look how well made these are.
They are really well made.
You know, I like the color, the construction, and these dials. They're stiff enough that they won't move
Do they, like,
on
click
you.
or anything?
You can't even shake them loose.
Oh.
There was something 3D printed that looked like this that I was tempted to buy for Gloomhaven.
I mean, that was.
There's an almost tactile
And then
click when it hits when it's on a number.
Wait. Mine doesn't feel that.
So,
I guess the blue one's
But
just
look at
better.
the detail. See that detail?
Oh yeah. Wow.
okay, so
Yeah,
then we
those
have
are-
character figures. The ones with little stands will go on the board. I don't know what the little cardboard ones are for.
Okay, we've got these.
The board will be built of terrain and permanent events. There's going to be a quest items area. There's quest item cards. I don't know if there's any additional cards we haven't opened.
I think they're in the adventure cards.
Okay.
I think they're part of the adventure cards.
Okay. Obtained during the game and must be stored behind or on this divider. So there's a quest items divider that all the quest item stuff will be put on.
I think it's kind of like, I
And we
think
have
this
a-
is actually something that's like ongoing that affects everything we do.
Then there's a discard pile. Each player has their own discard pile that contains action cards face up that they have discarded during the game. Player may look through these cards in their discard pile at any time.
You're upside down.
Character card placed in front of the player in front of the player playing that character. You will store your blocked cards underneath this card. I guess we'll learn about that later, which you may look at freely. And we recommend placing your action deck and discard pile on either side of this card to like manage your stuff in front of you. You have purse cards, which have a little bag in the top left. Each player places their bag cards in front of themselves. They have none when the game begins. Each player will have a hand containing their skill
Can we call
cards.
them Merce cards, like a man purse?
Yeah, sure. Merce.
Merce
cards.
yeah, okay.
Okay, thanks.
The skill cards, you will have none when the game begins.
We have no skills.
No skills when the game begins.
European handbag.
There's also a global
European
event
satchel.
card, a card whose effect
Demands
affects the
carry all.
entire board. So during playing these, we might have a global event card that comes out.
Is there any
Are
difference?
those our characters?
Is there any difference in the characters? Right? Do they have different
I
like
mean,
stat blocks?
I would assume so.
I don't see any difference between them.
Technically, we're
There's not like
supposed
a
to look at these
a trilogy, a
till we're ready
trinity
to play.
of like DPS tank. They look the same, right? In which case, I'm green because there's not a purple.
Mm-hmm.
They do look exactly the same.
I think so.
I guess it just comes down to what items you have that makes you unique to everybody else.
Yeah.
Unless about the...
Okay, I'm green.
Well, what's happening?
Yeah. No, I already.
Are we
decided.
already choosing colors?
I don't know.
Oh no.
I chose mine.
So each character
Brooks.
has a color. Okay. What do you want?
Arthur.
Brooks.
Do you want me to just keep reading through the instructions and start reading through like...
I think maybe
The
so.
sequence?
At some point, there's going to be like a start here.
Okay,
right?
so turn
You
sequence.
look like a Denholm.
What's his deal?
Denholm.
Is he a vampire?
Sure, I'll be Arthur.
I'm Brooks.
I'll be Denholm.
Denholm. Denholm.
Please focus.
I'm going to be Arthur with black hair.
Oh, there's two sides. Okay, I'm the bald Kasich.
I'm bald.
Oh.
Maybe
Oh,
maybe you do need to be.
You could choose it's a female or male version of this.
Oh. Look, I could be an old lady. This is the old man.
I
I'm
will
the
let-
senior.
I will
You're the senior
identify-
citizen.
I will identify as this.
I can't tell which one's male and which one's
Feminine.
female.
On yours, it's the same.
I can't tell.
That one.
Are they both very
You can
emo?
tell- You can tell by
Yeah.
the. You can tell by the.
Well, I mean,
hips.
I want to say this was the female one, but that one doesn't necessarily look like doesn't scream guy to me, so. I don't know.
Whatever's smaller, I guess maybe. They're kind of the same.
I don't know. Okay, here we
like
go.
it.
I've got mine.
Turn
Or I
sequence.
could be this woman. I could be an old
Are you ready?
woman.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
How do we actually play the game? That's what
So
we've
during a
gotten to.
turn sequence, you choose an active player and the action to be taken. Each turn, one player is collectively chosen to be the active player. They choose the available action they wish to take. This action will always be represented by an icon with a white square, visible on one of the following: a terrain card the figure is standing on, a permanent event card attached to the terrain card the figure is standing on, a temporary event card that has just been revealed. This action will be mandatory. One of their skill cards that they have in their hand, one of their purse cards, or one of the quest item cards.
We have none of those things
No.
at the moment.
So it looks like
So
you
we
choose an
start
act-
off taking no actions.
So you'll, well, this isn't necessarily the start
I know,
of
yeah.
our thing, But like essentially, it'll be something that's attached to the terrain card, or attached to the terrain card, an event card, or something that's like in your hand that's like a skill, purse, or a quest item. Is kind of like the different options for choosing an action. Check for other involved characters. Each character whose figure is on the active player's terrain card either may get involved in the action if it is not mandatory, and the other active player agrees, or must get involved in the action if it is mandatory, which will be the white square with like a red box around it. Unless otherwise stated, only the active player may use a skill or a merce card during the action, and they may only use their own cards. Note, getting involved in another player's action may be helpful where some skills can be used to help the active player. The active player resolves the action by completing the 4 steps of the action: gear up, draw, result, and consequences, which we learned on another page at some point. And then it's the start of a new turn. A new turn begins and a new active player is being appointed, and it may be the player from the previous turn if all players agree, but if you cannot reach an agreement, the player to the left of the last active player becomes the new active player.
How long do you argue over it?
Probably all night.
We need a timer. We need like one of the sand timers.
Okay, so yeah, basically you choose the action you're gonna do, check for any other involved players that need to be a part of it or could be a part of it. Then you go through the steps of resolving the action, and then you start a new turn.
Are you gonna read that?
No.
So there's simple actions, which is just a basic square white box that will end immediately after the consequence step. Compound actions.
It doesn't focus super good.
Group actions. An action may not be taken unless all conscious characters get involved. There's forbidden actions that cannot be taken if, like, there's some other steps, and some mandatory ones where all the characters on that terrain card must be involved. So there's like different type of actions that can be sprung up. Some that force you to do things, some that can't be done unless everyone does it. Some that have lots of events attached to them.
What if, at this point, we start the introductory scenario?
I think at this point, we're getting to a
then
point where we just need to do that.
when something happens, we read how to do it.
Yeah, because this will start.
Yeah,
us off.
I think at this point, we need to do
Right?
that and then like go to
Because
these
I think
pages.
the turn sequence was really good.
Yeah.
And like, hey, you do an action. And then we're going to run into things of like, how do I do this action?
Okay, yeah. Let's start by...
Which are in there. I read them, but they didn't make any sense because I had no context.
Yeah. Is there a section of this that tells us how to set up the first...
I think
It's
we
in here.
simply just start
Counter.
reading that.
Okay.
I didn't see anything like how to set up the game, but
It's got to be in here. A new beginning. The collapsing lands. During the conflict between the hegemonic city-state of Kel and its rival Gadol Rock, a new threat emerged. From the ground, the burrowers. You see those? See the artwork?
Yes.
The burrowers. Under the command of a mysterious master, these enormous worms tirelessly dug out underground tunnels to the point that they caused the collapse of entire regions. Kel and the rebel cities of its protectorate had no choice but to call a truce and fight the creatures that threatened to engulf them. But the Kellian legions, just like the mages of Gadol Rock and the engineers of the Planes and Mechanisms Guild, proved powerless. All seemed lost. A glimmer of hope came from the ancient druidic clans. They renounced their sacred principles to create, with blood and forbidden incantations, plant abominations, the only effective rampart against the burrowers. Thus began the reign of the Necrodroids. Necrodruids.
I like droids.
We're not,
I got really excited.
we're not quite sci-fi yet. The War of the Worms has lasted for nearly 50 cycles. which is a year, and has irreparably disfigured the world. Despite their best efforts, the Necrodruids and what remains of the Kel Protectorate have been unable to stop the Worm Master, who remains unaccounted for. The collapsing lands, as they are now called, are drowned in a haze of dust thrown up by the burrowers. Plant monstrosities have spread, sometimes out of control, threatening the few surviving communities they were meant to protect. It is in Citadel, each Necrodruid seat of power, that you are now exhausting yourself to care for these sacrilegious plant creations. As a slave gardener, you are waiting.
We're slaves?
A slave gardener.
That's better than just a slave.
I thought we were heroes.
You are waiting for one thing only: death by accident, or
Wait a
exhaustion
minute.
exhaustion that will free you from this life
That's not
of
what I signed
suffering.
up for. Slave.
Introduction. How long have you been in the Citadel? You have lost track of the cycles. The absence of a door at the entrance of your cell gives you false sense of freedom within the tower, and occasionally leads you to forget that you are nothing more than a prisoner. You wake up to a bitingly cold morning, bathed in pale sunlight. Another long day of hard labor awaiting you at the sacred grove. One more day added to your interminable sentence, and one less left of your life. Who knows? Perhaps this one will be your last. Suppressing a shudder, you think of that apprentice gardener, whose silly antics were a welcome source of amusement just yesterday, but now his mangled arm, torn from its socket, is fertilizing the plants to which he used to tend. The reckless boy had been clearing the ground next to a sardonyte, mistaking it for a rose of torment, without seeking assistance from a harvester. It has been drilled into you that the abominations created by the Necrodruids protect the Citadel and the remains of the Kel Protectorate from the burrowers. The belief is that one day they will help you win the war that has wrought chaos and decimated the once green and populous landscape. You have little choice but to place your belief in these stories, since you have not seen the outside world since your imprisonment. Hey, enough daydreaming. The ground trembles and rumbles more than usual. A sudden violent blast throws you to the floor, shaking the Citadel of Necrodruid Nina Dazir to its very foundations. The southeast wall, with its dozens of cells, is torn asunder. Screaming prisoners can be heard over the thunderous collapse as they plummet to the chasm below. Somewhere beyond the clouds of dust and the creaking piles of debris, additional explosions and streaks of strangely colored lightning flash across the sky.
The worms, they're coming.
Amidst the acrid smoke burning your eyes and your throat, you can see the faint outlines of the other prisoners rushing out of your cell. A shrill ringing fills your ears, and your heart beats so fast that you feel as if it might burst. You have no idea what just happened, but your instinct bellows at you to get out of here as soon as possible. Gritting your teeth, you tense your muscles, ready to run. Choose your character. Each player chooses a character card from those available behind the character's divider and places it in front of them on the table. Then take the corresponding figure and light-colored life pointer counter.
Done.
Arthur.
We're ahead of the curve. We're good.
I'm Arthur.
Arthur remembers nothing before being imprisoned. With a mother that died during childbirth and no knowledge of a father, this made ideal criteria for being welcomed to the Citadel. A puny physique has proven to be an advantage on more than one occasion. Whether tending to the furthest reaches of the sacred grove or escaping the mortal clutches of the snare creepers. Filled with energy and enthusiasm, Arthur's jovial personality contrasts with the taciturn character
Perfect.
of the other
It's
gardeners.
perfect.
When falling
like
asleep
fate.
after another exhausting day, Arthur cannot help but think of the mysteries and dangers that await beyond the walls of this prison. And while knowing such is a maybe foolish and misguided, hope still glimmers. You may take card 125
Oh shit.
before starting the adventure.
Okay.
Card
Anytime somebody
125.
says take a card, when taking a numbered card as a consequence of an action or event, the player must take it from the adventure deck. Let's see. If multiple cards with the same number are available, the active player randomly takes one of the green cards. Unless it's, I think that's except the gold ones and the ones that are linked. So I think you can randomly take any of the 125s.
There's just one.
Then you may take it.
Brooks. That's me.
That's you.
The last person who picked a fight with Brooks left their cell headfirst over a ledge.
See?
I like it already.
See, these really
They match us perfectly.
kismet. They're
Brooks.
matching so well so far.
Does not make concessions. A
Pretty good so
savage
far.
character developed during formative years spent surviving the ruins of the city of Mordebala, being forcibly dragged to the Citadel by a cohort of purveyors has hardly made Brooks docile. Through 7 cycles of captivity, Brooks has never lost sight of one singular objective, escaping this place. The last attempt was nearly successful, something which would have been a first in the Citadel's history. Brooks, take a 175 card.
So,
please.
Brandon, I think yours has text on it that you have to read us, right?
Is this?
Or is it just for you?
I don't know.
Let's wait.
Is it like an item?
Let's wait for a second.
Does it go in your merce?
It is like a locked
Decided to
merce
call
item.
it a merce, right?
Yeah, it's a locked merce item.
Denholm.
Oh, that's me.
Den, to friends and trusted confidants, was still a child when the first Citadel was built, and knew those who had experienced the golden age of Kel. Denholm is one of the rare people to have entered the Citadel willingly. Having seen family and friends swallowed up by the ground, claiming the lives of their soulmate and 3 children. Regarded as a fountain of
bunch of
knowledge
kids.
and wisdom by the gardeners,
Big family. This is all
Denholm
working
has
so
become
well.
a leader to the community of prisoners. Your leader.
Yeah, I'm the leader of the prisoners.
Natural born leader, lots of kids. Dead now, it sounded like.
Yeah, well.
Despite not holding the necro-druids in the highest esteem, Denholm's hatred for the burrowers and their master, whoever they may be, is even greater and provides all the necessary energy needed to endure the daily toils.
They killed my family.
Card 275.
275, 275.
Oh, I get a card.
You get a card. I am finding you your adventure card, 275.
Okay.
Here it is.
Well, that's a card.
I missed it. Did you get a card?
Not yet.
I haven't even been chosen yet.
Oh, I thought you were the last.
Kasich.
Gotcha.
Kasich joined the ranks of the last legion of the Bow, driven by a sense of duty as well as a desire for wealth. The plains of Nazib, the Sunset Mountains, the new forest of Chardamak, countless incomparable battlefields. Combat prowess as well as staunch bravery were traits that caught the attention of top leadership.
Staunch.
Along with some 60 other elite soldiers, Kasich was sent on a suicide mission that was supposed to mark a turning point in the war.
Sounds about right.
The battalion ventured far into the subterranean abysses of Aber Amid
I bet that's on here
Which was
too.
commonly
I can't
regarded
find any of these places off the map.
as the
It's saying-
cradle of evil. After being ambushed and suffering significant injuries, Kasich managed to return to camp, accompanied by only 2 other survivors. No one knew how they made it back, and the reports and tales of their experience were disturbing enough to see them all detained and thrown into a citadel. To this day, Kasich cannot sleep without picturing what transpired, with thoughts that constantly search for an explanation that might ease their resentment. Card 225. A 225.
One of the 225s. It really throws me off. It's
So
like
these
choose
must
a
be-
225 when there's only one.
Like your background, like your bio, your background. At least
That's what it kind of seems like. And then the other side has like a
more.
thing that, at least for
Your-
me, I think
the
that happens.
Mine, I have a dormant strength. That's
Have a
my
s-
dormant strength.
I have a strange mark.
Cool. All right.
Aha, okay. Okay, so that symbol where it's the merce with like the red lock,
I'm assuming it's an item you can't get rid of and then you just always have to keep.
I think so. And that was
Unless-
on here somewhere.
If I have,
Merce cards.
If
A
I have-
player may not decide to discard a card or give it to another player.
Yes.
So our
on
locked
mine,
merce cards.
if I have too many weaknesses, too many cards with weakness, then I banish this card. Which means it takes away my dormant strength if I have too many weakness cards.
I have a mark, and then when I reveal a card with that mark on it, I can choose a card whose number equals the number of the terrain card I'm on. And it says plus 145 if it is available.
Plus 145. They did some crazy math to sort this out then. So if you're on a terrain card,
That number plus 145,
plus 145 is another card that you get.
yeah,
Okay.
if it is available.
Mine doesn't make any sense. So when you read dialogue and it says Aber Amid, I take a card whose number is equal to the number of your terrain card plus 280. Whenever you read the words Aber Amid,
I just read it.
you did?
In your
But was that before or after I took the card though?
it was
What was it?
before because it
Was that a
part of-
place?
It was your commonly regarded as the cradle of evil. The cradle of evil.
Subterranean abysses of Aber Amid. Okay.
Commonly regarded as the cradle of evil.
Oh, the other two legionnaires went to some other citadel, so I'm the only one who was there.
Wait, did you just read A New Beginning?
That was yes. We're reading A New
Okay.
Beginning, and that was character choosing.
Yeah.
Every time we start a threat, we start here no matter what.
Yeah, because this is our starting skill, apparently.
This
You will
is
choose your
skill.
character and their starting skills during the introductory scenario, A New Beginning.
All right, ready to move to continue?
Yeah.
Compose your action deck. Each player takes from behind the character skills divider 15 skill cards whose hand icon contains the character's initial.
A, B, C, D.
Arthen takes the 15 A cards.
Wait, what?
They'll
these
have
are
a letter
these are going to
in
be your
them,
skills.
or an
You've got
X.
15 skills.
So Arthen,
Yeah, because I don't have anything interesting yet. That was just a
who's
story.
B? Brooks.
It doesn't
Yeah.
mean anything to me.
Yep, that's 15.
I'm Kasich, and you're Denethor.
I'm
Who are you?
Denholm.
I was close.
Denethor. If only.
Oh, these are.
Okay, we have
Things I
character
can
skills
do?
now.
We
Yeah.
look, we look at them, right?
That's your action deck. These,
Where do they? where
okay,
do we
from the
place
nature
these?
of these things on the left, we actually end up drawing these.
Yeah, I think we don't
we
actually
end up
look
at a
at
point
them.
where we like draw these randomly during an action.
Okay.
And we draw a certain
And
number
then-
of
And
them.
there's a discard pile
Yeah.
that we have, right?
So you'll have like a draw pile and then a discard pile on the other side. We're
Okay.
just randomly drawing these.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay.
And I think we lose, if
cheat
I
at my
recall,
skill.
we lose health
How are you, I'm like,
when
how are
we
you guys,
You're like looking over
run
now.
out.
how are you guys placing these cards?
Yeah. So like
When we run out of these,
This-
we actually have to do something
basically,
special and lose health
yeah.
to get
Basically,
them back.
the action card increases your chances
Of success.
of obtaining a success, but I guess also a failure, I suppose.
Yes, and the more you draw to complete an action, the more
Less-
energy or mana or whatever it is that you
that's
expend.
That's what I read too.
And so you sometimes, I think it might be worth it to possibly take a failure so you have enough energy for the next thing, possibly. We might find out. And rather than just keep spending until you get a success or something.
I thought it said you choose how many you're going to draw. You're like,
We'll
I'm
get to
gonna
that
do
point.
Yeah. But it didn't make any sense at the moment
Yeah,
while
let's-
reading it.
All right. Note, there are subtle differences due to age, physical condition, and personality between the character's basic skills. So mine are
Okay.
different.
They're different action decks.
From yours, and vice versa. All right. Next is 5 skill cards of their choice from among those with the letter X.
Oh, okay.
There is a single copy of each of these cards. If multiple players want to take the same card and cannot find an agreement, take the 4 sets recommended below and randomly hand one to each player. Great.
How many? We take 4 each?
We get
5.
5 each of these.
Okay.
How you make that choice?
Oh, that's mine right there.
Wait, what? Lure of
Oh, I like that
profit.
one.
That's a good one.
What about
Oh, no, I think that's
Stealth?
a good one.
I'll take
I
it.
can't go anywhere without that one.
4?
But you have to show me what you want, because I may want it.
Oh, the Art of War, because I'm really good.
I don't know what's happening.
I've got some arcane stuff, alert, reinforcements, fine.
Oh, you think the symbols might be important to have
Are
a
there symbols?
variety?
Probably. I've got
The stars I know are
bit.
like success marker things.
Oh, crap.
But you know what? This 5 sounds great.
Yeah.
Or did you want one of these 5?
Maybe. Let me look.
I want that one.
Anyone but you.
Resolution,
No, I think I'm the resolute one.
endurance.
And
I'll
I
take that.
add that to my.
What do you
Okay,
got?
I've got protective sphere.
So I'm a warrior.
sneak
It sounded
attack.
like, right?
Recharge.
Probably on authority or blacksmith.
Eloquence. And acrobatics. I'm very nimble for an old broad.
Accurate shot.
Probably parry.
I've got some arcane stuff, alert, reinforcement, fine tactician.
I chose things that sounded like fighting because I think I'm supposed to be. It sounded like he's a fighter.
I was just over talking about how enthusiastic and positive I am.
You're
Was
a
there
great-
another part of
you're
that
just
that I missed?
You're just a great guy. Fun to be around. You're our moral boost, our support,
It sounds just like me.
medic. Do we shuffle them in?
Oh, each player shuffles their 20 action cards to form their action deck. Yeah. So
Sweet,
put 'em-
guys.
Add them. I
You
guess
need
I'll.
5. These don't shuffle well. Did you notice that?
Well,
Like without bidding these up, they're not really going to shuffle all that well.
I guess I'll take weak point. I don't
They're a
know
little
what that
weird.
means.
They're a weird shape
Okay, these
for shuffling.
we can put those back into the skills, please.
Okay, this goes back into character skills of
Everything's
X variety.
Don't worry.
I'm worried.
They are very thick.
I need my snacks. May I have some of my snacks, please?
Which ones do you want?
Yes.
I'll make the decision for
You,
you.
you chose well.
Denholm.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay.
Okay.
Preparation phase. Set all life point counters back to 0. Then each character receives the following amount of life points, depending on player count. 8. 8 each.
What?
We get 8 each.
8.
Apparently you could play by yourself.
So does
doesn't
our
sound
life
like very
counter
many.
go up to 99?
It does. How come 8 seems like a much smaller number than 99?
Oh. Not 80.
8.
Okay.
That's in the ones position.
That's not a very high number.
Math already.
I'm learning.
How did you go?
Practicing.
Okay. Each. Is this part of. What is this? Where does this go? Right here, maybe?
Yeah. Well, your items go in front of your layout.
Right. Now, each player draws 2 cards from their action deck to form their starting hand.
Okay.
Okay. 1, 2.
Okay.
Haha. Yep.
Yes. Okay.
Well, this doesn't focus super good.
All right. Take a 10 card.
Sorry, what?
Take a 10 card. Read the text on the back, and then put it into play to begin forming the board.
Oh.
A
Oh,
10,
that's just
like
everybody.
One of
No,
these.
it's this card.
10. Yeah.
It's like an adventure. It's an adventure card.
This is probably our starting map.
Okay.
We have no idea what those are.
These are the terrain. These are what will form our map.
Put it
I think.
into play to begin forming the
wrong.
board. Place each character's figure on that card.
Your cell measures barely 15 feet across. Your cellmates are shoving each other to get out before the upper floor collapses into your cell. On the other side, the room opens into the void and to the chaos of the garden below. A definitive way out for your fellow inmates whose exhaustion and despair have driven them to end it all. We all start there. What?
This is the cell being
This is where it's okay.
because
Those are white squares. Those are actions then, right?
I think these are the different actions we can take if we decide to choose one off the terrain. Possibly.
Okay.
We'll learn more about that in a second. I
I
assume.
don't think. Am I supposed to be in there?
Yes.
Yes.
Here.
you don't need this anymore.
I don't think Krusty's
No.
gonna fit in this.
Yeah.
Well, Krusty
Yeah,
might.
that's an action selectable on the terrain card.
Krusty might fit on here. He would dwarf these other guys though.
Yeah.
We could all choose different characters out of the.
All right.
We'd all be really big though. It might not work.
Yeah.
You special rules. You cannot use the Citadel leaflet yet. Leave it in the box and ignore any effects mentioning it until further notice.
Is this the Citadel leaflet?
Yes.
You may not save the game in progress. Tip. During this introductory scenario, you may obtain up to 7 Hope Reborn cards
We're not gonna save it. We're just gonna
to
walk
be
away.
spent later to
for 7
evolve
days.
your group on the Destiny page on the Citadel leaflet.
Wait, I missed the tip. That sounds important.
Wes was making fun of me and he missed it.
During this introductory scenario, you may obtain up to 7 Hope Reborn cards, which you can spend later to evolve your characters in the group, or the group as a whole, I guess, on the Destiny page of the Citadel leaflet.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Stop reading for now and place the bookmark here.
I believe this is the bookmark.
Yes. Okay, so beginning a new adventure, you read the scenario until it says
Here, give me
to
the
stop.
plastic thing.
And I'm assuming we start a turn sequence.
I think so. So we start by choosing whose turn it is.
Who we want.
Let's roll the die.
So okay, I was like,
Does somebody else have an extra one of these? I'll
this
just put it
room's
back in
crumbling.
here. Can you believe?
Yeah,
So
we're in a cell
We're
and
all
like
in a cell together.
Yes.
And it's
We're
crumbling.
jostling to
Because-
escape.
Remember I described the
Yeah.
or the prison
It's a
collapsing.
crumbling chasm floor.
Here,
It might be my time.
let's roll for
getting
who goes
pretty
first.
old.
We roll to go.
Let's
go first.
This is our.
well, hold on. One
this
second.
is our
Wait.
initiative. Roll for initiative.
Roll for initiative.
Otherwise, it's arbitrary.
6.
6.
Yeah, we don't know enough
1.
to make a good choice.
So
I think you
we'll
go
just go like
first.
this. We'll counter
Okay.
counterclockwise or clockwise?
No, play goes to the left usually.
Okay.
Until something happens where we're like, it would be best if somebody else went.
Yeah,
Sounds
At some
good.
point, I
Until
expect
such-
that to happen,
until
but we
such
don't know
time.
anything yet.
you go first.
So you're going first?
You were a 6.
I take my bed sheet.
I thought highest I was going first.
Oh,
You rolled a 6.
for
Any other
initiative-
time
yeah,
in any other
that's-
game where I've rolled dice to see
That's
who goes
true, you're
first, the
right.
higher number
You're
wins.
right.
I don't know what game you two are playing.
Gloomhaven.
Gloomhaven. That's how it works in Gloomhaven.
That's how we've been doing it for the last 3 years. Wes.
Yeah.
Nope, new rules,
Okay, so-
new game.
When do I open the dialogue book? Right now?
No.
Not yet.
When we're
It'll
prompted?
tell us when to
It'll
read
probably tell us
dialogue.
when to do something.
Okay, so
You do an
what is-
action.
What does it
So
say?
next, so if it's your turn, you now need to choose
Oh, one
which
of my,
action you're going to take. You can
from
take.
Oh, like one of these.
Well, hold on. You can take one of the 3 from
It's
this
got to be a
terrain.
white square.
So you got. So this
These
white.
squares.
So this white square right here is going to tell you it's an action. So there's 3 on here. You can also choose one off of a permanent event card, which we don't have. We don't have a temporary event card. If you have one on a skill card in your hand, you can do one of those. Like this right here would be one in a skill hand.
The only one I have
Or
is,
on your one of your merc cards.
yeah, the only one I have is this on my character card.
Okay, so you can choose one of these three to start doing.
Because there's one on your character that looks like you're moving around.
Does
right?
that count? Are we
But
sure
we don't
that
have
No.
anywhere to go yet. Right?
Yeah, because it's for
We don't have anywhere to go.
because it says move it to an adjacent terrain card, which we do not have.
We don't have anything yet. I think these are your 3 choices.
So if I
Wait, and they'll have a different icon. Do those icons matter?
They probably will to us eventually. One's like an eye, a map, and a drawer.
All right, choose an eye or a map or a drawer.
These are just simple actions because they're just a regular white square. They're not like a fancy one or anything like that.
And their plus thing is a 0.
So hold on, check. We don't have any other, so we can choose to get involved with him, but maybe for the first one, just run it solo.
And it requires 0 stars to succeed.
Yeah, is that the right order? So we
So
got
hold on.
the action, and then
So you got,
next to it is the action cards, right?
Number of cards the active player. That's how many you must draw. You must draw at least X.
that's
plus
the
0
cost
cards.
of the action. The cost is shown with a blue diamond X.
Yes.
It represents the number of cards the active player must draw, the energy they must spend from their action deck to perform the action.
Okay, we
A
don't need-
plus X affects the effect increases the action cost. Negative reduces the action cost. by
Okay,
X.
so
These are all
because
0.
it's a starting card, it's probably why it doesn't
There's just
require
nothing.
any cost.
So you can play as many as you want, but you're required to do X amount, is what it sounds like.
In cases where the cost is lowered below 0, consider it 0. So these are 0, right?
So what is 0? Are you sure 0 means as much as you want?
The cost of an action may be 0. In cases where the cost is lower or below 0, consider it to be 0.
So I think you don't have to use any action cards to do one.
So if you don't want to, you don't have to.
Okay.
But you're going to have to draw something to complete it. It's basically saying you can draw as many as you want. If it was like a 4, you'd have to draw 4 cards to complete it. So if your 4 cards suddenly put you over to failure, you have no choice other than to either fail or try to draw more cards.
You're on
Okay,
different
let's
pages
Is
than
this
I am.
like an
Let's con-
escape room? Like
let's
we have to
concur.
accomplish those
Where are
3
you- where are you
tasks
saying that you
in
have to
the
play at
room
least one?
I'm assuming they're going to reveal more of the map.
Wait, where are you saying that you have to play at least
Yeah,
one?
Page
let's-
12.
Let's concur that.
Is it the draw thing? The active
Gear
player
up.
determines the
The
cost
active
of the
player
action. Is
flips.
it that stuff?
The active
Flips.
player.
From there,
Hold on, we're skipping a step here.
Okay.
Technically.
we're on gear
Okay.
up.
So let's
right?
stop for a second.
We're on gear up.
Yeah, let's go back to gear up. Active player selects from among their merge cards whose effects, some or all, they wish to apply. Each effect may be used only once during the action. Card.
Okay, I don't have a Merce card, right?
Yeah, but let's at least.
You started with. Wait, where's your?
Is this the Merce card?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You
A
can't
card
give
may
that away
only-
or do anything.
A card may only be selected if it has a condition icon that matches the taken action icon and no keyword in common with another selected card.
Okay, so which one of these are gonna do? Let's figure that out.
I'll do this drawer.
So the drawer. So if you had a merge card that also had the drawer icon on it, you could use that as well.
Yeah.
But you don't. None of our items that we have actually are usable during an action, as far as I can tell. Ours don't anyway.
So if your merge card has so there's this thing around the squares that's like this red border. If it has that, it means it's required. So if you have a purse item that has that, if you try to do an action that has that icon, you must take that card with you,
Okay, I don't have that.
which we haven't run into. An empty brown square on your merge cards means the associated effect may be applied during any action.
None of our items.
So this is the
have
merge
that
card,
yet.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, the
That's one of
brown
your
square
items,
means
but you don't
something?
have anything.
Yeah. That's the one you'll like match up with the symbol that's on the white square over here.
Oh, that's not. Oh, that's even action cards if they've got a square. Okay. Because mine don't have like swords on them, right? So that's not what's going on.
You do not need to select your skill cards, the ones in your hand. You don't have to select those. It's just
skill
your
cards.
it's just your merge cards.
Skill cards. You don't need to select skill cards as effect you want to apply. Okay, I don't think we have anything that is that gear up part.
Yeah. So now we can go back to draw.
Okay, so I determine the cost of the action and draw that many cards.
Determines
The active
cost.
player draws the number of cards from the top of their action deck equal to the cost of the action and places them face down in front of themselves if they choose to. If they choose to, they may draw any number of additional cards from the top of their action deck to increase their chances of success. Any such additional cards are placed face down with those previously drawn. If the action deck contains fewer cards than they should be drawing, the active player must immediately draw the remaining cards and perform a recovery.
That's where you lose health and get your discard cards back.
So right now, you're making a bet because there's essentially 0 that you have to draw. So the ones you have to draw, you place face up and we can look at them. Then you gamble and say, I think I'm going to need 3 additional cards. And you place those face down and you decide that now
From
of these
this pile.
from that pile. And then at the next stage, we'll reveal them to put a result. So you're not revealing, checking to see if you need more. You're kind of making a bet as to whether I need 2 more or I need 3 more or whatever.
The cost may be 0 in cases where the cost is. So the cost.
see
So
that?
that means the cost is like you have
Yes.
You have to, and they're revealed during this stage.
to. Okay, so
The
I-
required ones are,
But
so you have none
the
that have
required
to be
is
revealed.
0.
So I don't have to, but
You can draw additional, and those would be face down for some reason.
Yes, because later it's revealed to see if you passed or succeeded.
Okay.
okay, so yeah, so this is just like
Because
extra.
there's no cards out in front of you right
These
now
are just the
that
additional.
determine you succeeding or failing. You kind of have to put something out there, but
So
you're
I'm-
kind of making a bet as to how many.
So
you
I'm
need.
gonna do like this is my additional
Yes,
on top of 0,
yes,
face down.
mm-hmm.
Okay.
Face down, and then once you've decided that that's it, we move on to the next one.
Here's the card they
So
just-
now the active player reveals the cards that they just drew by flipping them face up.
That seems weird. Why the separation between that?
Well,
So
because
you don't know.
you don't know whether you succeed.
It's a gamble.
You're basically
You
looking at your
don't
face up
know
ones and you're like,
what these ones are. Okay. Okay.
yeah.
You're risking.
So the ones that are forced you to reveal, you're like, okay, at the moment I'm failing, and I'm failing by X. I might need additional 2 cards to get out of this to be a success.
But his success is a 0. He was going to succeed at that anyways, right?
Really? With no cards drawn?
Well, but the number of success he has to have is 0
So this
for
is
this
like,
action.
but it's like how I feel it should be is because we're starting out, you don't have to spend anything.
It
Nothing's
might
a
not
cost,
be right.
and you just decide like I want the 15 card, right?
That might be how
That's
these
not the
first
number
actions
of.
are.
That's not the number of successes.
The star.
The
Oh,
gold.
the star.
The star
gold.
is the successes symbol.
Oh.
So I'm wondering if that's saying that's what you need in order to succeed. And for this first card, this first terrain,
No matter
it
what,
might
you
be
succeed.
everything's just a gimme.
Oh.
It's because
Each-
you're like
I don't
Each
think
con
this-
is worth an additional success. So yeah, you don't have to draw
I don't
any
think
right
this
now.
represents.
That's what I'm thinking, too.
A regular action because these are just zeros. I bet everything else
it's
from
just a
here
free.
on is going to have
it's like a free turn.
1, 2,
yeah,
or 3
it's a
or
free
something
turn,
there. I think it's
essentially.
just free to
And
whatever.
then I just decide what I want, right?
You're basically just deciding
I'm
which.
deciding on 14.
Which. Yeah.
I'm going to
I
go this direction.
I don't think everything else is going to work that way, but I
No.
think
So
this,
This
that
is like a
does.
free round.
You want?
Hold on.
Is there just one 14?
In a simple
one of the
action-
There's only one 14.
Okay.
So I'm going to give him
Well,
14.
hold on.
Okay.
If the active player succeeds or reaches or exceeds the number shown, if it succeeds, consequences. Succeeds, they must apply the effects fails, they must apply the effect shown.
So it's a success, where I'm guaranteed.
Maybe so.
0 meaning, well, there's no success or fail, so
Discard the revealed
Shown in the white
cards.
section.
Apply.
Oh, that is the white section. It's just the adventure card.
No, the white section is going to be.
this also has a diamond.
No, look, it does. It has a white section under it for succeeding. See how it's got the white background of that, like the white and black.
Underneath the numbers.
I think.
Oh, that's what that
I
means.
think that means draw that
Yes.
adventure card.
So it's a success no matter what. This is the gimme.
Yes.
I think so, except that one has that little pip by it.
Yeah, this little
What is
diamond.
this like? What does that mean right here?
Take one bubble card.
Take one of the 49 cards, but what's the dot mean?
Yeah,
Because the other
these-
twos don't
the
have
other
a
two
dot.
Do not.
And there was only one of the at 14 adventure cards. Do you see a dot? Oh,
The icon.
okay.
Read that.
If it is available in the adventure deck, and discard the event card with the obstructing boulder. What?
Oh, see, like.
Oh,
that's
that
what I'm
has to do with
looking
the actual example.
at. That's what I'm looking at right there.
Yeah. That icon means if it is available in the adventure deck. And it was. So it's kind of, maybe it's just optional, where sometimes you're not going to get that.
Okay, which is makes sense if there's only 3 options and we have 4 players. One of us is
No
not.
cards available.
Because he's gonna choose.
Right.
I guess he could choose one of these, but if he decides.
By then,
to
there
choose
might be
14,
something where we move to somewhere else by then.
Okay, so once
By
the card has
fourth
been
person.
taken and revealed, so I think at this point you can reveal the card.
Okay. Read
What
it.
kind of card is it? Is it a terrain card, a permanent card, event card? Like what symbol does it have? Does it have like this kind of little arch
Oh,
thing,
it
like a
does. It has
time?
this. It has that.
Oh,
So that is a permanent event card. One involved character must put this card into play by placing it on the board with its permanent arrow pointing towards the terrain card their figure is standing on, and with the card oriented the same way as
that.
the
like
other
that.
cards
Yes.
on the board.
Yep.
Okay,
I think so.
Let's read it.
The permanent card is now attached to that terrain card towards which its placement arrow points, meaning that any actions and effects shown on the card are now available to any players whose figure is on the attached terrain card.
Great. So this
Okay.
applies to
Cool.
everybody.
Cool.
Another.
So this is attached to this terrain card.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily a terrain that we can move on to.
Right.
It's attached to this terrain.
Like we can't go this way.
Correct. So yeah, now read it.
It's just
Or
something
whatever
that
it is.
happened.
It's like yeah, an event.
It's
right,
just
yeah.
something that happened over here.
Another tremor violently shakes the Citadel. That's the event.
Dun, dun, dun.
Bringing dirt and debris crashing down from the ceiling. The air is thick with dust,
Not dust.
but you can make out a body buried under the rubble. Grunting with effort, you manage to pull it free. You recognize Taja, an affable girl who has shared your cell for several cycles. She is
I liked
unconscious, her brown hair thick with blood from a nasty gash on her forehead. Bending over her, you can hear the faint sound of her breathing.
She's still alive?
The other prisoners fled without a second thought. Will you carry Taja away to safety to leave her to a gruesome fate? Okay, so
So that's there.
It's-
So that's another action then.
yeah, so this part.
So that's another action that can be chosen.
So, which means if I succeed, this is what happens, right? You gently lift her.
That's it.
unconscious
This is a
body.
whole new action, right?
So now that turns your turn's
Your
over.
turn's over.
We can now choose who's going to do the next turn, and because we're standing on this deal, we can now choose one of these two actions or this action because it's attached to this terrain.
How do we keep track that we've already done that one?
That's a
Any idea?
Because-
Are they redoable?
Because look, it says this is the only one of that type, which
Right.
is that's what that diamond means.
Oh, so there might be more things for these. You might be able to do those over
Yeah.
and over again. Let's just check.
Maybe.
What is
Yeah,
12? Is there more than one 12? That's a pretty quick way to figure that out, right? There is only one 12 card.
So what does that diamond mean again? Let's clarify that again.
Only take it if it's
available.
available. We don't know enough yet. I guess we'll figure it out once we do the other two.
Okay, so
So we know this one's probably pretty pointless to do. Maybe we just are supposed to remember.
It basically means you do not need to do anything if the card is not available in the adventure deck. Otherwise, you must immediately return all the cards in the past and then take a newly available card.
Oh, okay. I know what that is.
So basically, cards that we've done, we put into the past. If it doesn't have that symbol and that card's not there, we
Bring it back
put
in.
them all back in and take it again.
Okay. Do we need somebody to go next? Is one of us particularly strong?
I don't know.
Actually-
That's me. Actually, I'm the strong one.
Actually, do we know?
I have a dormant strength.
Oh, yeah. So, who goes next? Do we just go?
Should we just go in
Should we just
order?
go clockwise until something
I mean,
happens?
Yeah, let's just keep going clock.
So he could go next also,
Yeah.
Yes.
since he's already there.
Like if someone, once we learn
I
things,
wanted
if like
to-
if he had things
That's
in
true.
his
I read,
hand,
I read that. We could decide. We could decide amongst us to repeat the turn. You know, the person to repeat the turn.
Because it
basically,
could
if,
be.
if
to
an action
go
was
again.
revealed that he had cards in his hand that were really good for that action, we would
Right.
say, no, we want you to go
You just-
again.
Yeah.
But we don't know anything about our hand stuff right
Okay,
now.
so
Mine look like mine are for fighting. So if there's something to fight, we would go. I think we would. We would just have me go and try to use my fight skills to win.
These.
what do you have?
I just get to peek at my cards.
What's your
essentially.
first two? What are
Yeah,
these?
they're about sort of-
Anticipation and intuition. Okay,
Intuition.
that doesn't help.
Yeah, they're not
Flight.
helpful.
I can run away, or
Vigilance.
fight harder.
Improvise.
I can basically make it that like a mandatory weapon card or something like that. I don't have to take.
So we got 2 or 2 plus means 2 or more, right? You have to draw at least 2 action cards, right? That's what that means if you want to attempt it.
Yeah.
Should I just do it? Or do you want to?
Well, let's rotate around.
Let's just see what
Okay,
happens.
you go first. You go then.
Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and do just this one, right? Of like, I'm just gonna do whatever that is. I play no cards and I succeed, is what we think is currently
Yes,
going
And
on.
now you reveal
Okay,
15.
15. Dozens of prisoners run past your cell.
Well, hold
You're-
on. What?
Oh, what kind it is? Do we need to know what kind it is first?
I think so.
Yeah,
It's got the arrow thing too. What did you think
Okay.
they were? Events?
Yeah, there are permanent events that are attached to the string.
Okay, it's a permanent event.
So yeah.
Dozens of prisoners run past your cell. You're about to run after them when a terrible crash deafens you. Tons of stones have dropped into the corridor, filling the space with thick, billowing dust. Wailing and cries for help echo throughout the corridor. So that's another action which looks like running. You rush out of your cell after your fellow inmates. No matter what happens, swear you'll never set foot in there again. So that looks like run after your... In order to do that, you run after your cellmates. Like through the... I don't know.
Through the
Okay.
door.
That was the whole turn.
We'll just go again and do the free action thing just to reveal all the free action ones here at the beginning, right?
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's kind of looking like it doesn't matter who does these first 3. Oh, it's an event. Do you want to read it?
No, go for it.
I think you should have to
I
read
don't
it.
think so.
It's your turn.
It's your turn.
You walk you walk to the back of the cell and stand at the ledge above the void. As you glance down to the sacred grove in the center of the garden, a gust of wind nearly makes you lose your balance. Looking up, you're speechless at the scene. Unfolding before your eyes, a gaping hole has been torn in the wall of the Citadel, which is now gutted. This must be...
What kind of card is that?
That's an event as well. Right?
Yeah, that's another permanent event card. Okay.
I don't understand where we can go. So we have... That's not even an action. It is... You're shocked by this terrible sight, but a spark of hope awakens in you. Freedom finally seems within reach. So long as you can escape this place in one piece. So immediately after this is... we should probably read the whole thing. After we flip it over,
Probably.
we should probably read what it says. That's what we just learned.
Okay.
Immediately after this is revealed, if an involved character has a card with the keyword cumbersome... Am I the
Am I
involved
supposed
character?
to memorize all the words on
Wait,
this thing?
so did I really go? Apparently it matters who really went.
Yeah, you went.
If an involved character, which is just me, I guess, am I considered involved, or is everybody in the terrain involved?
No, we decide at the beginning who's going to be involved in addition to whose turn it is. So it's just you.
Okay, if a character has a card with the keyword cumbersome, take a 17 card. I don't. Otherwise, take 99. So that goes there. Hopefully 99 is a terrain. Like, don't we want to get out of the cell?
I'm assuming these additional actions might...
There's a lot of 99s. Should we choose one at random?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, there's a bunch of them.
Just pick one.
There's a bunch of them. I'm gonna pick
Just
one.
pick
I'm
one.
gonna pick one out of the middle.
pick
Really
one.
mess them up.
Just pick one. Random.
This one.
There you go.
At any time, you may block this and all of your other Hope Reborn cards so that the characters share 10 life points. It's a book. What is the book symbol?
Those are quests.
Those were the
Something's-
hope.
A quest
the hope
item?
ones where we
Look,
added
we got
up.
a quest item divider
We
thing.
use them later on to give us like bonus.
And we can choose actions off the quest items on our turn.
So this is an action which takes nothing. It's
It's
easy,
a free,
easy
free
success.
action.
And we can check one symbol on the Destiny page of the Citadel leaflet, which we were not allowed to pull out. Block this, slipping it underneath one player's character card. Wait. Anytime you may block this and all of your other Hope Reborn cards so that the characters share 10 life points. Actions are beginning to be felt in the world around you. Somehow there's a quest thing that we can do at some point when it makes sense.
Yeah.
Which card do you want? 12, 15
That was
or
your
12?
Sure. I didn't have a cumbersome thing anyways.
15 is a magical number.
15.
There isn't.
Or you could do one of the actions, I guess.
Well, hold on. Don't just pull out 15. He's got to
Wait.
reveal
Oh.
a card in order to... He's got to go through the...
Does he have to do that?
Yes, he does. In order to do that action.
Are you doing this action or are you doing this one
He
again?
wants to do. He wants to do that one.
I haven't
That
moved
free
over
one.
to that area yet.
It's,
These aren't areas.
These aren't
though.
areas. They're events that are attached to this terrain card.
So this was. There was that corridor and all the rumble was.
Yeah, I'm
Probably-
going through
do you
the
wanna
door.
dive through that?
I'm going through the door.
Okay.
Okay, so you need one card or more.
It is.
I have cards.
You
One
got-
more action from there.
Yeah,
I think.
you have
So you need to permanently reveal... So,
one skill card.
Or
is
more.
face up.
Or however many you want.
Your success. You have to have 0 successes to succeed. That one's face up. Now you can choose to add more face down, but you only need 0 to succeed anyways. You're basically diving, you're choosing to dive through the rubble to get out of the cell.
Yep. Okay.
one success for each full star. So however many on that revealed one, you got half a star and...
Oh yeah, okay, that's what that means.
What's the other... The
Does
black...
this mean something?
Yeah, he's looking it up.
Some
Black
effects
flag.
enable the active player to convert into various bonuses. The fist, cloak, banner, swirl symbol, stars, class icons shown in the results area of the revealed cards. It can also be on your merce items and on your hand cards. Let's see here. There's a wild card, which is a question mark that can mean any of them. Let's see here. So I am assuming...
Fortitude.
Yeah, I think only when you're doing this, I think only that left section matters.
Oh,
So it's only that success and that symbol.
this is a success?
That's
a
half of a success. Which
So, for example, the fail merce item card enables him to convert 3 question mark class icons into a success, at most twice when performing a fight or strength pull action.
but that's a skill. You'd have to have that skill in your hand, right?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is his real reveal thing allows him to use his cards or his skill. If he has something that can convert things to successes,
Yeah.
he has one banner icon to do stuff with.
Yeah. So if you have a skill card that can convert that into a success, you can use that.
Or convert it into something. That's basically resources you have at your availability to do stuff with the cards you have.
He would need another banner card, right? Another card with a banner. Is what you're saying? To add?
Like right now, it doesn't matter because it's a 0 to succeed.
So I don't need a star?
You didn't.
You-
Right.
you-
You had to draw
yeah.
one no matter what because the cost was 1. But you didn't need any successes in order to have the
I
success.
can't see what that even says. What is
You got a +1 and a 0 on the stars.
Okay.
The plus one is the.
Does that mean it costs something here?
No.
the plus one there?
Means you had to draw one action, one of
Yeah,
your.
that's the action
Oh,
card.
skill
It means
card.
one
I
or
see
more.
it
Plus
now.
means one or more.
And then
Minimum of
It
one.
doesn't matter how many stars.
And
So
then-
that's it.
I think you
Yeah.
just succeed at rushing
Because
out of
even,
the corridor.
Even half a.
Okay, do I discard
Right.
this?
Hold on. This is the success
Oh, okay.
result. You rush out of your cell after your fellow inmates. No matter what happens, you swear you will never set foot in there again. Discard this and replace it with the 15 card. Each involved character moves their figure onto it.
So that card now gets replaced by.
Oh, did we
another
all?
another 15.
Oh,
No,
Only
and if
him.
you got involved, you could have gotten involved if one of your action cards says, like, you can play.
no, we can
No,
choose.
at the beginning
right?
we can choose to be involved, and no one chose to be involved.
Oh.
Before
what?
you even flip cards over and everything, we can choose to get involved in your action.
Oh, really?
So just you dove out that corridor.
Okay.
Good to know. Okay, so discard. We have a
Sounds
discard
good to
pile.
me.
Yeah,
It gets
Or
replaced
past, I
by
guess, the past.
I think it's.
what looks
Does
to
it say
me
that?
like a terrain card.
Alright.
Ooh, it's gold. Do you want to read it or shall I read it?
You may.
You enter the corridor that runs along the cells of the upper floor. The ceiling has collapsed on the north side, forever sealing access to that part of the Citadel. Breathing heavily with your eyes watering from the thick dust, you make your way forward.
What is the symbol in the corner?
The bottom
The
right.
corner?
Okay, this is just a terrain card.
Okay, do we...
Ooh.
I think you
We,
put
we
it.
keep the orientation that all the cards are in.
So it must be like this. Oh, look, it even matches.
Whoa!
All right.
Hey guys, there's floor over here.
So what you're now over here.
My character is crouching because they're always stealthing.
Okay, so now...
So now you discard all the cards that were involved in that action.
Discarded.
On,
You have a discard pile.
You have your own
Of course I
discard
do.
pile.
There's my discard pile.
Cool.
Now we can decide if we want him to, if he goes again or somebody else.
Well, I think
hold on. Reveals during the results step. Means the active player may add up.
if you're gonna save this person, you should just go.
We should, yeah.
The blue hand with the X effect means that the active player may add up to X of these cards to their hand instead of discarding them. What?
If you
Did that have a number in the blue hand? Did it have like a number in it somewhere? Blue hand with like a number?
Is that a
No, it was
one?
D. It was because came from one of his own.
Yeah.
actions.
Anywhere else in the
Is that
card?
supposed to be a D?
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, well, it could be an X because you have. Remember, you have 5 X cards in your pile in there, but
Yeah, but
this wasn't.
that's supposed to be a D?
Yeah.
Return or
Do
banish.
you need
Virus.
That looks like a one.
you need readers.
Look at page
You
13.
need readers.
At the very
your
bottom.
Consequences.
Consequences
I
B.
at first thought it was a 1 2, like far away, but it's a D. Yeah. I had to get progressives on my lenses
Yeah.
because I'll put contacts in, and I cannot see further, like closer than
This still looks like a
my
one.
arm. Really?
Well, I guess one
Theirs
side
is-
is flatter than the other. The other side's sort of round.
I think this might be referring to something that we haven't seen
No, we
yet.
haven't seen what it's referring to. There's
possibly another blue hand symbol somewhere that allows you to take cards back into your hand.
Okay.
But I don't think we've
If it
seen
ha-
that yet.
If it has an X.
I think
Well-
if it's a letter and an X, it doesn't matter. There can be a number there where your letter is,
Got it. Okay, the number.
and then something else happens.
Okay.
Okay.
But now we are back to deciding which player should go.
I think if Drew has an interest in picking up and lugging this limp body around,
Because I have strength, I can do
go
it.
for it.
Yeah, go for it.
Otherwise, we're leaving.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think you should.
Okay, so I'm going to do 3.
Do you need people involved?
Well, hold on. You need to reveal 2.
Hold on.
Okay.
So if
Right.
somebody else is
Okay,
going to
yeah.
help, should
Right.
do we do
Oh
that?
yeah, does somebody want to be involved?
Do you have any gear things? You don't have
with
any gear
arms?
things. Okay.
Okay.
And then anybody else involved?
Can we be involved in this? Have you read that yet? I don't.
Hold on, this is
I don't
action.
think it matters on this action, honestly.
Check for involved players. Each character whose figure you may get involved if the action is not mandatory. If they agree, this is not a mandatory action, so there's not other players that have to be involved. Unless otherwise stated, only the active player may use action or immerse cards during the action, and they may only use their cards. So
Oh, it would be only his cards, anyways. It doesn't matter then.
getting involved in other players' actions may be helpful where some skills can be used to help the active player. So like skills you have in your hand
Oh, okay.
could possibly be used to help him do his thing, but otherwise,
I wouldn't be helpful then.
okay, so we're saying no one's involved. So now you have 2.5 successes.
It requires 0 successes.
Yeah. And so I
Yeah, we did
think-
it.
I think that's all there is to it, right? I think the blue side is only if it's in your hand as a skill. I think this beige side is when you're using it as an action. Because a lot of pictures I've seen have you drawing them like this. And that's the only part that matters.
Like this.
Oh, okay. No, that makes sense.
And if it's in your hand, it's the blue stuff that matters because that's the actual skill.
Cost.
So I think you
draws more cards
succeeded.
at the top action.
I'm going to go like this. Okay.
Oh, look, here's one of the blue hands. Look, it's a blue hand with a number in it. As its consequences.
So that effect means the active player may take up to X one of these cards to their hand instead of discarding them. So you can take one of
One
these
of those
cards
can be in
back to
your
your
hand.
hand if you want.
And discard the other. You gently lift her unconscious body and hoist her over your shoulder. She is pretty heavy. So that hand with the number, you can keep one of those as a skill in your hand, and then we need another adventure card.
Okay, so
Is that what that seems like? The hand you've been seeing?
Yeah. So you can take one of those cards and put it in your hand and then discard the other.
cumbersome. Didn't you have a cumbersome?
Cumbersome had to do with something. I think the first parts of this.
Okay, so but
Oh, so it would get you if you were carrying the person and you tried to go through the door.
Well, this would be if
Something's
you're.
gonna
This is
happen
if you're over encumbered. You can do that action if you want. Like read that first text. It's like if you're over
yeah,
encumbered.
you may not take the following action if you exceed your maximum carried weight and or have a card with the keyword cumbersome.
Okay, so
So this is actually like.
that's an action you
it's
can
like
do
a-
until you're encumbered or something like that.
Okay, how do we know what our weight is?
I don't know.
Okay, so yeah, this doesn't apply unless I'm using it in.
Hold on. Where's the?
Right. So you can choose one of these to add to your hand.
Oh, is that it? To the hand and then discard the other?
Yeah.
I concur.
I think there's a hand limit,
Yeah, there is.
if I recall.
The maximum weight you're allowed to carry can be found on your character card and depends on the player count. Your carried weight is the total weight of
Must be this.
this black max
looks-
symbol on the bottom.
which is like a yeah.
That's like the number of items.
You may
weight,
exceed
okay.
your if you exceed your
So 6. is
that's
my
that's
weight.
merce items you can carry. And if you exceed your maximum carried weight, as long as you have this limit exceeded, you may not take a move action on your character card.
Except
this move action on your
this
character
thing would
card
let you.
cannot-
That skill would let you though, because you'd have more than your weight.
It says you may not take the following action if you exceed your maximum.
Oh, this. What does this do? Make you run faster or something? Train card that is connected to your train. You can move to like any terrain card. You can just like run through multiple terrain cards, basically.
Unless I'm
Unless you're carrying too much stuff.
Unless I'm encumbered.
Yeah.
Well, that little chart had like pictures of people. Is that how many people we're playing with?
Right.
Yes. So because we have
want
4
this
people-
last column.
Because we're playing with 4 people, you can have 3 items in your hand, 3 skill cards in your hand, and you can have 6 merce items. If you exceed the 6 merce items, you've exceeded your weight limit and you cannot perform a move act. Because this action right here that we've kept looking at is a move action that you can choose to do on your turn to move to a different event card. Essentially, you can't perform that action if you're over encumbered.
Which is basically how we're gonna have to move into this corridor. We're gonna have to basically
I don't
discard
want-
a card to get in
I don't
here.
think I'm gonna want that because
And if you have more than what's
she
allowed
might-
in your
the-
hand, you must discard cards.
carrying Taja might encumber me.
Yeah. So what happened with carrying her?
Oh, so it's this one. So you do this.
Yeah.
You
kept one of those in
I'm
your
gonna
hand.
discard this.
Yeah. You've got your own discard. Yeah.
And then
What?
take an 11.
And
And then
this,
banish this. Which
this
means
gets
I guess-
banished.
There is only one 11.
And then the 11 replaces it, right?
You grit your teeth as the body over your shoulder grows ever heavier and your arm begins to spasm. Uh-oh. Doesn't sound good. If only you could be sure that Taja would survive her wound. Rocks smash on the floor, sending fragments flying across the room. It is high time you made a run for it. Unconscious Taja.
That looks like
What kind of...
a merce card that weighs 3.
Well, hold on, let me see the symbol. Oh, that's an item card that you can...
Your body aches with
Purse-
fatigue.
purse card.
So,
Okay.
yeah, so she weighs 3.
I'm not going to be able to keep calling it a merce card. It's an item.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to keep doing that. She weighs 3.
One involved character may either keep this card by putting it into play in front of themselves or discard it into the past if it has no lock icon.
You can discard her, or somebody can carry it for you.
You can become.
No, only...
It doesn't have a lock icon.
Yeah, but one of us can't take it, is what I'm
We
saying.
can't?
No, because we weren't involved in the action.
Oh. Good luck. Really?
During,
One involved character may keep this card
involved character.
or it's discarded.
Okay.
Because we weren't involved in this action, only he can take it or discard it.
Have fun.
Okay, so
During the consequence step, a -2.
wait
When
a
you
minute,
become
so-
unconscious, discard and block this. Well, you've got a really heavy item.
So what is this? Yeah, I'm
Whenever
not sure.
he's
what do
got-
I do? Those are
They're like
mandatory.
mandatory actions.
Yes. So,
He has to pick her up and run for his life.
you
Right?
have mandatory stuff during...
The moment he drew this,
During the consequence step, -2.
he has to mandatory
I have to
Walk
I
or
have to
run?
move. I have to move.
when it can be seen
And
on a
run.
temporary event card or in a dialogue, all characters on the train must do the same. When it is can be seen on a terrain card,
When-
all characters on that train must get involved.
When the required brown square icon it can be seen on the active player's item card or on this other kind of card, the active player must take the corresponding actions and they must select that card and apply its effects. So
You have to do that right now.
when you... Well, must take the corresponding action. So if there's an action that you can take that involves those, you have to take them, and you have to use this card on that action.
Okay, so these are the actions.
What does -2 on the deck mean? Have you seen
These
that
are the
icon?
actions.
I'm assuming it's this deck.
Where he just auto discards 2 of them or something? So you have to take this action right now.
Move your finger to an adjacent terrain card as long as you do not exceed.
During the consequence step, -2 cards. Hold on, let me see if I can see something like that in the examples they give.
When this happens, the player who gives or the one who receives the item card must -X. Discard the top X cards from your action deck.
The top 2 cards. That's
Yes.
part of the. That's a consequence, though.
Yes.
So no matter what.
So you have to do this action,
If it's-
which you have here.
No, hold on. For this action, you have to use this card.
Oh.
So
he
if
doesn't have to immediately do this.
He doesn't have to immediately do
Every
this kind
time
of action.
he does this.
Every time he does an action that's either this move or whatever this card is, during the consequence phase, you have to discard your top 2 cards.
That's like my penalty for being cumbersome.
Yeah. So like during the gear up phase, you would pick your item cards. And during the gear up phase, if you're doing an action with one of these 2 symbols, you have to choose this item
has to choose it.
as an
And
active
he has
geared
to
item.
lose- he basically has to lose 2 of these every time he moves,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
no.
Okay.
I mean, is there any positive effect to this? Besides, like, possibly saving whoever the hell this is?
We don't know yet. He's a really good guy.
So possibly positive effect later on, but nothing but negatives right now.
We don't know what could happen with this later.
Okay, so
So that's a permanent item you've got. Not permanent, but okay. I think that's the end of your turn.
You're choosing to keep it?
I mean,
you
I
just
don't
gonna
know.
leave
Do
her
I have
here?
to?
You don't
You
have
could
to.
you could just leave her limp body
I could.
here in the rubble.
You could.
I think it can be discarded.
Yeah, you can discard it
I'm
if you
gonna
want.
keep it. Just
Okay,
Okay.
so add it to your list of
It's in your items.
your like item cards.
these are my item cards, right?
No,
Down
this
here?
is your
This is
hand.
your hand of skills.
This
you
is
can
your
do.
other item
This is your-
card.
So I'll just put it there.
And now we're back to
Okay.
choosing whoever's going to do the next action.
Probably one of us 3 to catch up with OJ, or is OJ our scout? I might as well go next, and I'm just going to move over there to where he is.
Because this one,
It's an event that didn't do anything, right?
yeah.
Didn't we draw the? We drew the 99 card, right?
Or
Somebody had.
if the involved character has. Otherwise, take 199 cards.
Yeah,
already did
we drew the
90 card.
99, and I don't know where it is.
So this can probably at this point be put
I
in the
think you
past.
just leave it there.
Immediately after this is revealed, if an involved character has a card with keyword cumbersome, take a 17 card, otherwise take 199. Yeah.
It probably goes in
As
either
long
the
as this
past or
event
just
is
stays
in
there.
play, that action. As long as this event is in play, that action may not be taken again from the terrain card. Okay, so yeah, we leave it there, basically stating that this action can no longer be taken as long as this is still there.
Okay.
Okay, but when does this get?
We already did
it's
it.
already
Somebody
been
drew
done.
the 99.
I think it was. Was it OJ that?
Does he have it?
99?
We already did it.
We did whatever it was.
But
I already
basically,
don't remember.
But basically, we
But it
leave this
stays there?
attached.
Like, when does it ever go? Like,
Oh, it's this one.
go away.
No, it's a quest that's currently
The Hope
it was the
Reborn.
quest
going
thing.
on.
Basically, this is a marker saying that we can no longer do this action.
It's this card. This is what we ended up with, and we don't really know how to use it yet. It has something to do with giving us all 10 hit points, or a collective 10 hit points.
Okay.
And we do something on the Citadel leaflet, which we're not allowed to have yet.
Who's next? Who wants to go?
I thought Wes wanted to move.
I'm just gonna. right? I'm just gonna go into the next thing. The move thing costs 1 card. It requires 0 successes, right? Mm-hmm. So I move over here, but your default move does make it sound like you keep it. No.
Move your figure and to an adjacent terrain card as long as you do not exceed your maximum carried weight, and you can move that card to your hand if you want.
That's what it kind of seemed like. This becomes a card in my hand, right?
Yes, if you'd like it to be, yeah.
-1 if you move to a terrain card where there is another character's figure. What does that mean? Oh, -1 move. It takes 1 less, right? Is that what the brown means? Does everybody have that?
I think so, yeah.
So I think since he's already there, it doesn't cost me 1 to move to him.
Hold on one second.
He's already done the hard part. But that also means I don't get a card in my hand.
You follow?
Actually, kind of a little bit. At least that part. +1, and then -1 is 0. Can you make me like a maths? Can I be math certified? Number? I want to be number certified.
I don't think you're number certified yet.
I'll keep working at it.
What are you talking about? What certification?
It's a number certification. It's just to certify that I know numbers.
Wait.
For which
Wait, maybe it means I
organization?
can't add it to my
For this
hand.
group?
He wants a certification like this. That's not a number certification, but that's my Boolean certification. I'm Boolean certified.
He's Boolean certified.
So you're like either good or you're not. You're either
No, he's
I
certified in
fully
Boolean.
understand true and false.
he's
Ones and zeros.
well, not wait. That was plural.
Is this logic?
You're not Booleans certified.
in
You're
which-
Boolean. You don't know trues and falses. You know a single true or false.
You just know
Basically, I had someone at work ask if I knew the Boolean language.
that's awesome. The Boolean language.
Like, oh, Brandon knows the Boolean language really well. I was like, yeah, I do. Yeah, you're doing the stuff that involves all the Boolean stuff.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And so I decided to become Boolean certified. So I made myself a Boolean certification.
I needed
Another inside joke.
work on the number certification.
And so yeah,
A number certification.
and so at some point on the wall behind you, I'm gonna have just like a wall of pointless certifications, like a number certified, Boolean certified. Because I now have 100 stickers and certification pieces of paper that I can now make certifications with. And a template to make them with.
Perfect.
Let's see here. I was trying to look up the...
Well, the
Like a
moving
move
thing
card.
specifically doesn't address the minus and the +1 there, but the minus. So because this looks like it would almost be a skill related to that action of moving,
Yeah.
it looks like
Because there's a person
because
here.
you have to apply that, which means it's a -1, but a -1 to how many you require, or
I
a
think
-1
so.
to have.
I think
That's what I
so.
think. So it doesn't cost any cards to move to where somebody already is, but you're also
That's
not
like-
going to get a card in your hand.
But it's not mandatory. So you can choose to not do it and get a card for your hand if you want. But if your hand is full, you don't want to just waste a card.
That makes more sense. I played it and went into my hand.
So like movement is another way
And
to
move to there.
like get cards to your hand.
That makes sense. I like that. That sounds like.
But if there's another player
mechanism.
already in there, you can choose to not do it and not waste a card if you already have 3 cards in your hand.
So that was my turn.
That made some sense.
I think probably one of you two are next. Brandon or Drew's is going to be the exciting move. But
I still don't understand why
you're
I'm not encumbered yet because
You're not
I
encumbered.
haven't reached my limit, my max.
But she does make it harder for you to move around. It costs you more. Think of it as like
What is the
stamina.
consequence at the end, right? The
Consequence is at the end of your
very
turn.
end.
So it's like costing you stamina to carry her around.
Okay.
She'll be worth it though.
She might become my My lesbian wife.
Yes.
I mean partner. What are they? No.
I don't know what.
I don't know what
the
the collapsed lands.
I'm afraid to even say
Believe
a
in?
word because it might not be
The what word?
any of the words. I don't know if you refer to that situation, relationship with a specific word or not, because any of
It's
the
just
words
up to the couple,
sound,
wife, whatever.
sound charged.
Okay, I'm gonna do a move
And
action.
it's a trap.
But this is the collapsed lands.
Oh, it's the collapse land.
This is the collapsed lands. Yeah.
Move here and get another
well,
card in my hand.
I think in that case, I believe they're called a defiler. Is that? No.
What's
There's
happening?
There's a something.
Wes is trying his hardest to offend everyone.
Yeah.
He just said that's
He
a
keeps
charged
saying like he
word,
doesn't
and
want
he
to
goes right
offend
into
people,
like
but he just keeps talking and keeps offending people.
There's a kind of.
I just did my
really
move
hard.
turn.
In either this or in Seventh Continent, there's
Wes,
a
you're doing
thing
a
called a
great job.
defiler.
You're doing a great job.
Yeah,
Question.
it's a defiler.
Answer.
Did we find out if there's a max
Four?
number of
3
in your hand?
It's this number down here. The
Oh,
little
the-
blue hand
oh,
symbol
okay,
with the
okay.
4 players. It's 3 in your hand.
Again, what does the hand with the 1 mean again?
That
This
means
what you
this
played.
as-
and move.
okay. So at the so this white box is the success result. So during the action, if you got a success, you can then do the stuff that's within this white box. And that blue hand with the 1 means
go
you can
into
choose
your-
one of the cards that you use to do the action. You can return to your hand.
Okay, got it.
So it could be like 3, and you could get 3 cards back if you wanted, or you discard them. It's not like required. You don't have to take them back. But
So-
you can.
So if you're already at max, you have to decide what to keep then, right?
Yeah, so like if you wanted one
have
of
to
these
discard.
and you got an additional one, you already had 3, you'd have to choose one of these to then discard. Because you can only have the 3 at the end of your turn.
I'm really excited for it to be your turn, though.
Okay.
This is like one of the first actual
I-
things that's going to happen.
I
in the
just
game.
moved, got a card to add to my hand. That's the end of my action.
I'm gonna move too. I want to join you right away.
Yes,
So,
which is this action.
but you're already here, so it's
So you don't have to draw if you don't want to.
Right.
I don't know. Let's look at these. Do these even improvise?
I don't know enough to judge what's in my hand or not.
Ignore-
Whether they're worth having.
that
I
looks,
actually really like this determination one.
that looks good. It has an ambush part thing on it.
Because like for any action, I can discard this to get a success.
Oh, yeah, the star on that. Cool.
What does
So like this one, because it's a blank brown square, any type of action, I can discard this to get an additional success.
Oh, wait, something just made sense in my brain. It's like a wild card. The
Yes.
brown.
Well, the
question marks
the
as
brown
well?
with
Square.
nothing in it.
Okay.
With nothing in it is kind of like a wild card. But if it had, like this one is like if I'm doing an action that's a fight action,
Yeah.
I can use this card to affect that action. But this one's a wild card for any
Yeah,
type of
like
action.
an
I'm
like an
doing.
empty action.
Oh, wow. So what if we're reading this thing?
Okay. I'm going to play an action. Second win. Yes. Perfect. I'm gonna do improvise. Right.
Now, the
Things.
consequence of doing a move action, though, is you discard 2 of these,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
Then we're all here together again.
Flight. Oh no. That looks like a good one. Endurance would have been good. I was trying to go for endurance.
So we're kind of back to
Rats.
where we are, where it maybe doesn't matter who.
So now on this card
If we move off of this card,
So
it
that's our
takes an
action.
extra action
to get off
to
of it.
move off.
So
of it.
it's mandatory. So that means we have to move, right?
Well, that means this effect has to be applied.
You have to use an extra action if you move.
Yeah.
Well, on this card, is that leaving this card or when we moved on?
While
to it?
on this,
it,
while
'cause now
on
it's
this
visible.
card, while taking an action on this card, if it's a move action, this effect has to be applied to it,
Yeah. So
and it's
basically an extra action card is what you have to.
an extra action card is required for whatever you're doing.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So again, we need to choose who goes next.
We've got like a corridor that comes this way, and then looks like another
Those
Got
look
it.
like they're going to be terrain things, right?
We also technically have an action on this side. That's the eye symbol.
And these aren't even actions. So this must mean that it is terrain and that you would use your move action to just go this way blindly, right?
Oh, yikes.
I don't know.
Well, isn't that kind because it's so page 21, right? An exploration card is a random event that hides a portion of the collapsing lands.
Space the exploration used to occupy. So everyone takes.
Because
So
it's not
the
a square,
hash.
so it's not an action.
So do we want to like? Is that what happens? Like if it's a hash, we grab the 19 and then put the fog on it.
Well,
The fog side
the
up?
19, right? That 19 will have two sides. It'll have the fog side and the whatever it is.
So-
whatever it really is.
When that's revealed, we go ahead and
This isn't an action.
Oh,
it's automatic. Like we have to add
Yeah.
the exploration.
Yeah, because these aren't technically actions at all.
Yeah, so it's like it's automatic
is it?
adding that terrain.
Do you
but with
think
the
we
fog-
automatically put it on
play
there no
With
matter
the
what?
fog, right? With the fog, maybe.
The space exploration card is used to occupy is now open.
Read it.
So
Well, I wanted to
Bruno
see if it was like maybe
takes-
fog on one side of like what does it look like of if I were to put
Oh,
it on
yeah.
there,
Right.
what would it look like? Adventure card.
He
Is
then
it,
puts
right?
3.
See that's a symbol.
Yes, after you reveal it, you place down these cards.
These numbers or the hash symbol? Can you tell?
The symbol.
The symbol. Because those are events. So should I just
The
choose?
hash. Yeah, cause see
Do I
that's
just choose an event
yeah.
to put
See
down?
that's fog. Right. That's fog. Right.
And then we've got something's going to happen in order to go there, like this.
And that's also fog.
That seems reasonable.
And then if you move there, you place the associated number.
You replace it with the number,
Yeah.
with the terrain, the 19.
At some point, we flip this over, though, right?
Yeah, but
I bet once you move there.
to flip it, you need to do
So
that
so because this is an exploration or Pathfinder action. And then this is flipped over.
only on an action, somebody's action.
When somebody
Yeah.
goes, oh, when you do this
so,
action.
So when someone does this
Oh.
action, this card is then flipped over, and based on what it is, it could be like a temporary event, it could be a new terrain card, and if it's a new terrain card, or hold on.
Now, next question is, if you were to perform that
No,
action,
so you flip this over, and the thing happens, and you replace whatever was there with this new terrain card.
right?
But do you have to move here
That
first?
was my question. Do
Because
have
you can't do this action because it's on a terrain you're not on.
Step 1.
Move there.
For Bruno. Bruno performs the path action and applies its consequences by flipping the exploration card over. It is a temporary event, which he resolves before discarding it to the past. The space exploration card used to occupy the now open is now open, so Bruno takes the, in this case, number 94 adventure card associated with that arrow and puts it into play in the newly opened space. He will now be able to move to this new terrain card by performing
Because
a move
it's
action visible
revealed.
on his character card, and then puts the associated exploration cards into play.
Oh.
The next one,
So these actions we do even though we're not there yet.
because
You do it in order to flip it over and get the
because
terrain
we
card.
want to reveal it. We wanna
because
reveal the
this
terrain.
is
Exploration.
this is an event card. So notice that this symbol is right here.
Oh, that is an event.
This is an event card that's associated with this terrain. These aren't terrain cards. These are just cards associated with this terrain tile.
This says it's events we can do once we're here.
Yes.
Okay.
And so you do this, flip it over, resolve it, and once it's resolved,
there's whatever
you then
it is on
replace
it.
it with 31, and it's now a space that you can move to in the future if you want. And after it's revealed, you place down any associated orange cards.
Okay.
Did you say there's some sort of eye also, like something there? That
This
looks
one
like-
has there's like an eye action over here you can do. But I don't know if because it's on this side, it's not doable anymore.
It's got to be still doable. We've never. Otherwise, there's no way to do that one. Because every time you're in this scenario, this
What
is
is
what's
it?
happening.
Tell me
It's
about it.
probably to replace
It's
this.
Costs
its
and
cost
things?
is 0 and its success is 0.
You know, my bet is it replaces this.
That you can't go back there.
You can't go back, but like, because if we were to go back here, like, why?
It doesn't make-
It doesn't make sense because we'd be redoing.
This
what we
now
started.
moves to the past and this replaces it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like, because mind you, everything's falling apart, and so it could open up a new.
Right.
Well,
Now there's
I've
a
been-
area.
I've been waiting in this room, anticipating you guys to come.
Let's say it's your turn.
So as you come through, I go to look over into the other room.
Now that we made
Is
it,
that what you want to do? Which one?
This one.
You want to do that one?
I think you basically
Okay.
auto succeeded that.
Well, hold on.
Right.
Let's go through the steps and pretend like we're doing it in the order that it's supposed to be in, despite it being a free step. Does anybody want to join him in the action?
It's an
To
eyeball.
go back?
Oh,
I
good
just
point.
I just came from there.
For kicks and giggles, can I join you on your action?
I don't have any
Yeah.
eyeballs.
Okay, I'm now associated with his action.
I don't think you
Are
have
you
to have
involved?
an eyeball, do you?
Yes, I'm involved in this action.
You've gotten in.
I've gotten involved.
Oh boy.
It's actually kind of scary once Brandon gets involved.
Always.
If he's like actively getting involved in your business,
It's very
something
you should be
has
concerned.
gone.
You should be
Something has gone
concerned.
horribly wrong. We're gonna
Okay.
ask him about his last
I
weekend.
was like looking over there, and then you come stand like really close to me and look the same direction.
if we weren't so
like-
involved with learning this game, I would have asked him about last weekend already and gotten involved.
Heavily.
Okay, so.
So
Auto
auto
Did
success.
Emily
success.
already ask you?
What?
I don't know what. Anyway.
You're involved. Okay.
It was an auto success essentially.
I'll have to read this. Good thing I've got my glasses. A gardener
I haven't
lies
heard a
face
vacation
down
report
on
yet.
the floor, moaning as he attempts to pull himself free from the rocks that have crushed his leg, leaving him in torturous agony. I'm supposed to look it up. Oh my gosh. The man stretches out his scrawny arm in your direction, giving you a pleading look. Please.
Okay, what kind of card is it?
Save me.
It's got one of these little golden arrows near there. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
So this must be passed now, right?
So I'm assuming
Oh
Yeah,
wait,
because-
anything
no,
associated
that's
with
here.
it.
Yeah.
Look at
It's
the arrow.
bottom.
See the
No,
arrow?
it's always got to stay oriented like this,
Is that?
What else did it say in there?
right? So it's an event that goes here.
What?
These arrows always have to point to the terrain card that activated them,
But remain in this orientation.
but remain in that
We can't-
orientation.
It
It's
can
not
never
going
be
to
like
go
that.
down. So it has to go.
So the
What else is
orientation
there?
we're doing. Oh, okay. I gotcha. So the orientation we're doing is this way. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so that's all right.
What else is it
for the
say?
audience.
Well,
So this
we-
is now just an action that someone can take.
right, and we don't need to
it's
read it.
muscles.
It's either because it gives us a success and a failure
Oh, okay.
So
He
depending on
wants you
whether
to
we-
save him.
consequence.
Here's an event where somebody else is pleading for you to save them.
Okay, Brandon and I both, after seeing this guy, we like look at each other in each other's eyes.
Longingly?
Now,
So just leave 'em.
remind me. What the backstory is? Are the gardeners like? Are they friendly? They're our slave
It
masters?
sounds like they're the slave masters, the necro druids.
Well, we were the gardeners too. We were slave gardeners.
We're the slave gardeners
But not
for
a
the
gardener.
necro druids.
But he's a
They would-
gardener also, so he's one of us.
I think they would have said slave gardener.
One of us.
A gardener is a gardener.
I think
I think
we are
the-
gardeners.
I think
Yeah.
he's also a gardener.
I think all
So it's
gardeners
one
are
of us.
slaves.
Okay.
as it should be.
This is the way.
Slave of the soil.
Sounds like we've gone back.
Slave to the soil.
Let the spice flow.
Let the spice flow. He looks like
Squeeze.
he
And
looks a
squeeze
little
hard.
scrawny to
Has
be.
he been?
But this is like
doing
our
the
first
spice?
like
He looks conscious
It's
though.
it's our first real
it's our first real action that's come up.
or
The
event,
chained
or what is
thing
it called?
looks like a concern too. I remember seeing the chained.
When the action
actions
is it on the cost or the
is the action is chained. Linked. Sorry, linked.
linked. Yeah, what is
This
the
is a
link
linked action, which means it's actually takes
taking
multiple
account the
I got rid
success?
of my link.
things to go through if I remember. I I remember reading the linked actions.
Some
It's like
actions
they take
have a
multiple-
chain icon and are less likely to succeed without the appropriate skills or equipment. The chain icon means the active player may take into account the successes, stars and half stars, and the result areas of the X revealed cards,
See, I got rid
at
of these.
most the player's choice.
That was one I discarded.
For example, if the action's default is
I don't
3,
even know what that means, though.
the active player may
So-
take into account the stars and half star icons and the result areas of no more than 3 revealed cards of their choice, regardless of how many they choose to draw. They must ignore any stars or half stars shown on any other cards they have revealed. Okay, so this means that at most you can choose the successes from 2 cards.
But
So
it
you're-
has to be 2.
You're forced to reveal 2 cards.
And because it's linked,
Because it's linked, it means you can only choose the result area of 2 cards. You can add more cards to your results, but at the end, after you revealed everything, you can only choose 2
To add up.
to add up for
in order
successes.
to get 3 successes.
In order to get 3 successes. So in other words, saving this guy is difficult.
So it's like the chain means it's like tied. You're tied to the 2.
You're tied to the results of X number of cards.
Saying I'm
Yeah,
all
whatever.
tied up
In this case,
inside.
the 2.
Yes.
I have a suggestion.
Hold on. So I got rid of this card. Just for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
It's this improvise. It's got the chain, and it's +1.
Oh, yeah, you would get to do 3 instead.
So like improves your chances, I guess.
Yeah. You get of the cards you play, of your action cards you play, you can use the results of 3 of them instead of just
This
2.
restriction only applies to the successes in the revealed cards result areas. So I'm assuming any cards from your hand that you play
Those are you're just playing
Are-
skills though. If it's from your hand.
is this considered a revealed card?
What page are you on? Maybe I can
12.
help figure out. How come that symbol doesn't look? Oh, it's the chain before the number. That's what the link refers to as the number. Okay.
Actions default as the active player may take into account the star and half stars in the results area of no more than 3 revealed cards of their choice. Regardless of how many they choose to draw, they must ignore any stars and half stars
Yeah.
shown on the other cards that they have revealed.
I think your
This
first
restriction
explanation's
only
right.
applies to successes on revealed cards.
This restriction only applies on the successes in the revealed cards. It's the results area. Okay.
So after you're revealed, if you decide to play something from your hand, this is not considered a revealed card.
This is the successes on
Yes.
the revealed cards results area,
Yeah.
but I think you can still manipulate these to get more successes.
Yes, from your hand.
Your hand, yeah, your hand.
Because your
like-
hand isn't part of the revealed cards.
right, from your hand might manipulate these to have more successes from some other pool.
So, for example, if I drew 2 cards, I had 2 out of the 3. I could play this card,
yes,
which gives me success
Yes.
to make it 3, and that counts.
yes,
Or
That-
or I could play this,
and you
which
get
gives me an
three
extra
cards.
card
Yes.
to use.
Yep. He gets to
Yes.
add 1 to the linked.
Yes.
If that
The
was
linked successes.
Which means
Yep.
then you could choose 3 from amongst whatever you had.
So, whose turn is
But
it?
you have to do it during the gear up step.
That one.
Yeah, for a lot of for things like that. So make sure when you're looking at your card,
Yeah.
you decide when you're. So I preemptively would be able to give myself an extra star.
so that's the gear up is like you decide like from your hand what you want to play.
Not necessarily.
Like
this
if
one
you
just
want.
this one just in particular says at the gear up step. Typically at the gear up step, it's just you're choosing cards that have the item icon. You're choosing which of those
Can I have that real quick?
you're going to apply
The
to this action.
instructions.
And for example, this one has to be applied at the gear up step for these type of actions.
What does it mean?
Right. Okay.
I guess we'll figure out eventually.
Gear up, draw.
Because
result.
certain skills say block this, I assume that means it's beyond discarded. It's like it's never going to come back or something.
Block?
Have you read that yet? I haven't
Yeah,
read
I've
that
seen it
word
because
yet.
I got this. It says when you become unconscious, discard or block this.
Yeah. Something block.
I don't know what
means-
blocking means.
Me neither yet.
It must be like
But then it
completely
says
lost and not just
it says
discarded.
block this,
Maybe.
banish this.
Yeah, I think.
So maybe
I think
blocks
blocks
means
means
banished.
it's gone
Yeah,
forever.
I don't know why they.
It hits this like banished
Well,
area.
something I think once said put it under your something like that goes under your
Your like character card or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I have a skill that might help with saving that guy but I need to know what the block means of like how I use it.
Block this. And then I have this card. That
I almost
says-
feel like we need to have a printout of this.
I know.
For
Like two
everybody.
more printouts so you guys can both have a copy.
Yeah, I only printed it just like, hey, Drew, read this on the way over. Is the only reason I printed this, but now it's like
We might want to
we
print
need
like two more.
I'll have a version. We need a searchable version. I'm gonna have to read the FAQ tomorrow.
Blocked.
I'm just the camera guy.
Blocked.
Maybe it's gonna be around.
That's something to do with discarding. I think glossary. This will help. Block. To slip a card under one's character card. A blocked card loses all of its effects until it is unblocked, but its weight must still be taken into account.
When an in-game effect instructs you to block a card, the affected player must immediately slip it underneath their character card. A blocked card may be looked at all times. However, as long as it is blocked, it has no effect and may not be used. If it is a item card, its weight must still be taken into account, and you may discard it if you wish to. If it is a hand or quest item card, you may not discard it.
So
When an in-game effect allows you to unblock a card, take it from under your character card and then either shuffle it back into your action deck if it's a hand card, or put it in to play in front of yourself if it is one of your item cards.
So one of us should be able to save this guy. Either you with that extra star might have a shot at it. I have the ability to look at my top 3 cards and like reorder them, which has
Oh,
a
that
chance
might
of
be-
getting 2. If you have the
Yeah.
2, right? If you have the 2 cards that do this nonsense,
Mm-hmm.
but I only get to look at 3. So the top 2 would have to be perfect in order to get that 3.
What does this second win
You
mean?
can add a full star to something.
Is that plus
If you
6
choose to
from
discard-
my action pile?
That
If you
does
choose
sound
to
like you put
discard
discard cards
one
back.
other hand card from your hand, block this. You can get +3 or +6 cards.
It's like he can put discarded cards back into his deck.
Oh, I wish I knew what
Because
that
that's the
symbol
same symbol of his -2 when he moves.
meant. Yeah.
Except he gets +3 or +6 if
From
you
your
choose to
discard
discard
pile?
one other blank card from your hand. But you block this. It goes, this one forever goes under your guy.
'Cause-
Why +3 or +6?
So +3 or +6 if you choose to discard
Oh, the +6 gives you more if you discard some other
from your
card
hand. So like if I discard another one of these,
You would
I could
get
get 6.
6 back. That's basically because normally you're going to get to a
Or
point where
6
in order to
back, I
get
mean.
these back, you're going to have to lose health.
Right.
That's what's going to happen
So
eventually.
that could be good.
There's a recovery thing we haven't bothered reading yet, but what happens is you'll reshuffle your discard deck back in, but it costs you health.
Yeah.
The active player may randomly take up to X cards from their discard pile and shuffle them back into their action deck, is what that symbol means. So yeah, we were right.
So
It'll
So you can take three random ones and shuffle them back into your deck, or you can discard lose cards to get 6 or whatever it is.
okay. How many do I have here?
I like this thing.
I
on
don't
the
even
back.
have 6, so.
Is his DoorDash here or something?
I don't know.
What? He just disappeared. And
Are there more people coming to my house?
Not that I know. That's not. If there are, this one's not my doing, Brandon. Hey, it's the girls. It's the charity girls. Hey, charity girls, come up. We have something for you to clean.
Oh God. I can't believe you guys remember that.
Oh, I
It's
wish
haunted your dreams. Probably that was your moment that we
it was
watched
my
by-
moment, and I watched it
fly away.
go on by. So now
It's
I
haunting
am
you
prepared.
forever.
Somebody rings on your doorbell when I'm here.
You're coming down with
They
me.
are coming inside. I don't care who it is.
Oh
It's
God.
your ministers, the bishopric, charity girls,
God.
girls selling Girl Scout cookies. All limits are off at this point. Anybody who rings on that doorbell while I'm here, they're coming inside. We're getting their name. We're getting digits.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
I got lots. You want one?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna hook you up.
Yeah, that was like, they've probably been watching me. Like, we need a scheme to get to meet him,
We
get inside his house.
Watching me. You
yeah.
act as if I like leave this house besides going to work.
They've watched you.
They've
Getting,
been stalking
Watch
you.
me get my
and going
mail.
from your house.
I guess I get my mail.
Yes.
And they're like, I know. We'll just go over there and say, hey, we'll do anything for you.
We will do anything you ask.
They did word that really
It's for a charity.
sus-like.
We'll do anything you ask us to.
That's essentially
Would
what
you-
they said. It was the weirdest. It was so weird.
We'd like to come in and do anything you ask.
what was the age?
Bearded Viking.
They were like
These were like college
20.
girls.
Oh, okay.
It was perfect. We ruined the whole
So it's
scenario.
not quite as
yeah,
creepy as
as it could have been.
as teenage girls coming to your door.
Yeah.
Not that creepy, but it was still. We'll do anything you want.
Basically, will you donate? And I was like,
Anything?
yeah. I was like, do you want us to come in and do something for you? We can. Basically, and I was like,
Yes. The answer is yes.
Choose your words
Brandon.
carefully.
The answer's always yes. Okay. I think your star is probably the best bet of saving him.
doing like star and then
Me
like
reshuffling my top 3 is an okay option. It's probably not as. I think mine's not as high of odds as yours, frankly.
so maybe I'll.
Because I think the chance of you getting 2 successes,
There's a little
3
bit higher.
2
This
successes
is
out of
so if I play this, it's already revealed, right?
that is 2 half stars. Yes.
But that's not you
No,
playing
no.
it. You don't get that effect from playing it from your hand.
Oh, okay.
Are 2 half stars 1 whole star?
yes.
This little side part is from revealing from your deck. This side is a playable action from your hand.
Oh, okay. I'm just trying to decide if I should. Will it benefit the party?
You don't even
if-
have enough discarded cards yet.
No, I'd do 3. I would do 3.
Oh.
The +3.
I don't think you're really at risk of anything yet.
I'll wait.
I think in a couple actions that will become important.
What are considered skills?
These are skills. These are character skills. These are advanced skills. There's a way for us to get reflex skills later.
So this is a skill,
These are
which means if it's your action, and I get involved, I can use this skill to help you.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But it's my card.
But it's your action.
But-
which
Let's do
means-
that.
Which means you can do your thing, and I can add this to it.
Let's do that.
But and when you become involved, you don't need to gear up, or did you do need to gear up?
My
That's the
skill
gearing
could be
up.
applied during the gear up phase,
His gear up,
unless otherwise.
because you have to decide when do you want to decide, or when do you decide
Only
to be
his
involved?
gear and cards can be used during the action, but I can add my skills to assist him, unless the action says otherwise. Only his
I guess
gear and cards can be used.
my question is, let me rephrase this.
Yeah.
If you choose to become involved, you do not need to do the 4 parts of the step,
Correct.
because you're not the active player, right? Which
I can
means
just-
you don't gear up, you don't draw cards, you don't
No.
resolve.
No. But during his phases of doing that, I can apply my skills to help him, and one of my skills allows me to add stuff during the gear up phase. So during his gear up phase, I can add my skill to help.
Only the active player may use their item cards or action or skills.
No,
Page 10.
getting involved in another player's action may be helpful where some skills can be used to help the active player.
Unless otherwise stated, only the active player may use skills and or item cards during the action. How did those two sentences work together?
I'm
So
assuming
this is for him. This must be for you, not him, right? You're being involved.
Well, hold on. I think there's a difference between the blue hand being this deck and the blue hand being your active hand skills.
Read that again.
Okay. So, unless otherwise stated, only the active player may use
Action
hands
cards,
It's a hand,
which is an action card.
but that's a hand. It's a
or
hand on
purse
Yes.
cards during the action, and they may only use their own cards during the action, and they may only use their own cards. Getting involved in another player's action may be helpful where some skills can be used to help the active player. Because that makes it sound like he can use this skill to help the active player.
But is the thing in your hand called skills? My question is, what are skills?
They are
That has
skills.
to be a skill. That
They are
determination
skills.
you've got.
You have a skill.
Because
of-
these are called character skills. That's the divider we
Each
pulled
player
down.
has a hand containing their action cards, action skill cards. See, these are skills. These are just blue hand actions.
These are actions.
And then you have item cards.
yes.
So only your action deck and
Count.
items can be used for the
Items, right.
Can be used for the action. I can't use this for.
You can
instance,
use a skill to accept.
but I can use a
assist the
skill
active
from my
player.
hand to
That makes
assist the active player.
So here's what I think we do. I use my skill first. I take a turn, use my skill to shuffle my top three.
When does
To
your
try-
skill apply? Oh, okay, at the very start.
It's just an action. No, I can take my turn and take this action,
Okay.
right?
Okay, gotcha. So you do a turn, do that.
I do a
action.
turn to this action, then I do a second turn,
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
and you get involved and use that, and I will have hopefully shuffled this to where I
Yes.
get a guaranteed 2, because I'll know,
Yes.
and then you add that third, and we will have saved him.
What's
Does
up
that
there?
sound like how that
Yes.
the order
So-
of play?
So this is your action.
I can take an action from my skills. Most of my skills don't have an action. This
Right.
one does.
It doesn't have to be an action.
So
No.
this is my turn.
There's multiple places you can choose an action from. This is
Trade,
just one of the places.
Items,
Okay.
skills. So my skill, I take this action, right? Which is basically just thinking.
Intuition.
Take 0 cards, 0 success. And what I do is I take 3 cards, and I can choose which ones to put on top in whatever order I want, right?
One of the three.
Actually, will I want one of these later? I do kind of want that one later. So let's say I do these two. I choose these. I choose this order, and that was my turn. This is now discarded.
Yes.
Now I take another turn. This is where it was like we decide Wes
Yeah.
is going to take another turn, right?
So now it's your turn.
That's kind of where that becomes helpful, I guess.
So before anything's done, I choose to get involved in your action.
You're involved.
You now.
I play 2 cards.
Well, now you choose the gear up phase, where I add this skill to your gear up phase.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because I'm assuming at some point the order of these actions is going to make a big difference. For this one particularly, I'm gambling as to whether this is effective, but because of what Wes has already done, we know it's needed.
2 of these skills don't matter.
I'm
And
assuming
then-
you have no other gear that's going to matter for this.
No, I don't. So
Okay.
I draw 2 of these mandatory, which I'm like, that's probably enough because you already geared up. and
I've
gave
given you a
third.
guarantee success by
Right?
using this.
So we have 3, right?
3 successes.
Surely these don't have to line up correctly, right?
No.
Because that would be madness.
No, it doesn't.
That would be madness.
It just says half stars and full stars.
Okay. So we have 3, right?
So we've done a success. So now we.
You somehow manage to heave the blocks of stone off the man's legs. Banish this and read 27. Read 027? What does that mean? That's
Is
not
it
a green
green
card. 027.
Oh, this is the
You're gonna read. This is where you come in.
the dialogue thing.
Okay, we banish this, which means there's like a thing right here somewhere, right?
So, what about the cost? Where does the cost come in?
The cost was
Three?
3.
What was it, 3?
Yeah, the cost was 3. I had
Which
2.
meant-
He geared
which
up and
meant-
added 1.
Oh, meaning you need those stars, Scott.
We made 3 stars, which means we succeeded, and
27?
now 27.
And you discard.
I discard all of
these.
these
This goes in banished.
because there's no thing that goes in banished.
And yeah, you read 27.
And you read 27.
I'm done for, but there's still hope.
You can return 1 to your hand.
Nuh-uh, what? That's
Oh, that's a failure.
that's a
Sorry.
failure.
Sorry. Continue.
All right. I'm done for, but there's still hope for you. Fly, you. The wounded man's face twists in pain. His legs have been ground into jelly pulp of flesh and bone. In his last moments, he finds the strength to thank you with a faint smile. Before his eyes glaze over and he breathes his final breath. There's
He died.
Wait, there's like a mandatory action.
a mandatory action. So that means both of you, right?
Well, hold on. Let's see here.
It's
No, you're involved now, Brandon.
See, look.
There's no backing out.
I got freaking involved.
Must get involved in the action if it is mandatory.
you must get involved in this mandatory
This is
action.
why I-
Wait,
He
each
never
character
gets
whose
involved.
figure is on the active player's terrain card. So that's
We
all
all
of us.
have to get involved.
That's all of us.
You're all involved.
All 4 of us are involved.
You must
So-
get involved if you're on the terrain because
Must be
what's
a-
happening is we're thinking.
Some kind of thinking
It's
action.
like we're thinking really hard.
We have to get a success.
But I'm the
Okay.
active player, so it's still only my cards that matter, right?
Yes.
But we're all involved
Yes.
So which
in the
means
thinking.
which
Which
means
means if
can
we had
help-
skills,
we can help you with the skills.
if we had
though.
skills to help you, which I don't have anything.
Okay, what did that say the action requirements were?
I'm thinking real hard.
So it's 0 mandatory.
0 cards.
I happen to know this one is half a star.
Half a star.
It's only half a star. So I can do optional, right?
2 optionals,
Let's say I
just in case. 3.
just in case. It's not linked, so I'm not limited.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure I get 1 star somewhere in here. I'm pretty optimistic, right? And then I just do it, right?
Well, wait a minute. So how many? You have to reveal all 3, but only choose one.
Well, before that
No.
we can gear up. I don't think any of you have anything that.
Not unless.
No, he
this-
doesn't have to choose one because it's not a chain.
What about this anticipation? Oh, but it's. I don't think I can because
We
it's-
can. You can because there's
it's
no
brown.
specific. So you can use it for anything.
Empty brown icon means it can be used for any
You
of
can
them.
use it for
even
any
though this
action.
is-
Yes,
Yeah.
because
White.
it's an empty brown one.
Now, if I had that same icon here, I'd have to use it.
Okay, well I got 1.5 stars here.
Those don't count though.
Oh,
Only
right.
this part counts for whatever
So
that
during
is.
the consequence, so that doesn't. I mean, that doesn't help. That's just
It would shuffle one
at the
back
end.
in.
At the end of something.
I don't think that's as useful because I still have a
Okay.
few cards.
Okay, well,
But it's still so
let's
gearing
use,
up.
Let's
is
use 3 of your
kind of
quote
useful.
unquote
So if I use
stamina.
3, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So now you're in the reveal phase.
Which I had lots of stars. 3.
3
So
successes.
he succeeded.
So let's look at the
so
white
all
section.
3 of these, all 3 cards add up
Because it's not
for the
linked.
success.
Because it's not a linked one.
Chained.
There's no chain. Is it called chained?
Chained. Yeah.
Locked in.
Oh no.
What?
Oh no.
Oh no.
Am I gonna call them linked from now on?
No. It's chained.
It doesn't say chained.
It does say chained.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Now this one I haven't read as thoroughly as Gloomhaven did.
It's chained.
So I could really be wrong on this.
It's chained.
Okay. So because it's not chained, I can use all 3, which is 3 successes.
Okay.
Right. So what's our success?
The only way is forward. Trying your best to remain positive, you think of how the unfortunate wretch is at peace now. Take 149 card. It's got the diamond as well. So.
Okay.
And then return the dialogue book. Okay,
Oh,
so
okay.
the 49 diamond means if it's not there, we have to look for it, right?
No, if it's not there, it doesn't matter.
There's
Nothing
a bunch
happens.
of 49s though.
Okay.
So we're gonna choose one of the middle.
We're like, oh, that lucky fetcher, he's done.
He's at peace now.
It is we're gonna learn what the
glimmer of
book
hope.
item means.
It's a
it's
quest.
a quest item.
So more hope points.
Beware of pessimists. Oh, do I read this? No, there's not. Beware of pessimists. They will poison your thoughts as surely as a rose of torment. At any time, you may return 5 glimmer of hope cards to take 199 card, or it has an action. Unblock 1 card and return this. So we have another action up here that might do something. But we have this glimmer of hope where we can always at any time return 5 glimmer of hope cards and take a 99 card.
Or we can use this action to unblock a card of ours.
Okay.
But I lose all 3 of these. They're all discarded. But we did that.
So even though we're all involved, that just meant we could contribute skills.
Yes.
That was
And if something
really-
bad happens to anybody involved, we would be associated with that.
Okay. So now somebody's turn. Probably not me. I did some things.
I'm gonna flip this.
Well, hold on. You gotta.
Do you want to go?
Hold on. There was a
Somebody else wants to go
thing
before
associated
me?
with that, wasn't there?
No, you should go. You don't.
Let's want
So
something bad
the
to
sort-
happen.
Turn
to you.
This will be
sequence is choose the active player. Active
That's
player.
you.
Okay.
That's you.
And the
Yes.
action is I'm gonna flip this.
0 and
Yes.
0 sounds great.
So yeah, you flip that.
Does anybody want to be involved? I'm not getting involved.
I'll get involved.
Okay.
I'm right behind you.
Mandatory action.
Here we go.
That
All
means
right.
everybody.
Yeah, it does.
So it doesn't matter.
Everybody in the
Another rumbling shakes the building. The ceiling begins to crumble and debris rains down around you.
Yeah.
During the following action, the active player is whoever revealed this. Okay, that's me.
Okay.
Okay, so it's like a dodge, maybe. Mandatory dodge. We need 2 stars. With a series. Okay, we don't need to read that. Just
This is everybody involved, right?
If a
'Cause
dialogue
mandatory-
contains a mandatory action, the involved players may freely choose which of them will be the active player for that action.
Oh,
So
so
because
for-
both of you are involved, you can choose which of you two
This isn't
has
the
to do
dialogue.
it.
But this, yeah, and this tells us
Wait,
specifically.
read the first part of that again.
If a dialogue contain, this is
It's not. This is a
That's
temporary.
from the book.
This is a temporary event.
But that's the thing we just did, right? Where that thing showed up.
this is a temporary event card.
But that's for the previous thing.
Hold
we
on,
did.
right
We can
here.
switch the active person to anybody.
Hold on, I'm about to read it for
not-
this. This
not
is a
in this
temporary.
case,
This is
though.
a temporary event card.
The active player, whoever revealed it.
So before because of this one specifically, before
Is that what
banishment, we
the
resolve this.
Hourglass means?
Yes. If this card shows a mandatory action, all the characters on the terrain card of the player who revealed it must get involved in that action.
Yes.
They choose which of them is the active player.
Even though it says specifically that the active player is whoever revealed it.
During the following action,
That
the
must-
active player is whoever revealed it. So that supersedes this rule.
Okay.
So now you're the active
But
player.
we are all involved. Because
Yes.
we're all on the terrain.
We're all
Okay, so-
involved, but you're the active player.
I need.
need two
star-
successes.
2 successes. 1.
And none are mandatory, and it's not chained. How many is it going to take to get 2 successes?
Yeah, I don't know. At least 4 maybe.
This is just a regular. Okay.
I'm counting on
You
the
only need
second
2.
win to like replenish this. So I'm gonna go 4. Okay.
Okay.
Now we reveal, right?
Yes.
Hold on, wait a minute. Nor ambush. Question marks become 1 shield. Oh, that's not useful.
You can now reveal.
Okay. Accurate shot.
So half.
Energy drain.
Oh,
my gosh.
jeez.
Reveal the last one.
Come on. 2.5. There you
Oh
go.
my gosh.
There you
Perfect.
go.
Because I needed 3, right? Or
Yeah.
2. I
You only
needed
need
2.
2.
Okay.
But you just still barely got it.
Okay, so now you succeeded, and you can read
Get,
read that success.
With a series of agile bounds, you manage to scamper to safety. Okay.
So this is now discarded to the past.
But what is the number at the top left? There's that. Doesn't that mean
Replace it with
replace it with
replace it
something?
with the card. Maybe that's what that
Yeah,
is.
replace it with this.
That's what
Is that zero
icon
three
is.
one?
Just-
Oh, what's the?
I don't know if
whatever.
that's what this means, but at the end of this action, this is now put to the past. That terrain is revealed, and you can discard
Let me
those.
see that. Yeah, A0196.
Once this card has been resolved and discarded and returned to banishers, replace it with the adventure card that belongs there.
I think that's what that just means is
Yeah.
replace it with the green.
I just read it right here.
But the A,
I just read it right here.
I don't
I
know.
think I've seen that before.
It's like a
Adventure.
serial number.
A adventure.
Oh,
Oh, the serial number?
Wow, A097 is that?
Either way, we're replacing it with this 31.
the door in front of you leads to the room used to store the garden tools,
You can discard
which
those.
would increase your chances of survival. Every day, the overseer, a test-turned man with rather arduous breath or odorous breath, distributed the tools to the gardeners and ensured they were all returned in the same condition. Wait, that's an event.
So that is a...
The heavy door is double locked, which is hardly surprising. If prisoners had access to
Permanent
this
event.
room, they might use the tools for something other than gardening. This is. It's like an action over there. It looks like a locked door with weapons.
Oh,
chained action.
It is chained action of keys. Keys, I'm sure. Okay, so part of the exploration action, does he automatically move there, or it's just
No.
revealed now?
It's just
Actually, that's not
revealed.
even terrain still.
No
not
automatic
terrain
movement.
yet.
It's just
Okay.
revealed for a future action.
All right. Now who?
Does someone want to attempt to open the door or do the next exploration?
I need better cards.
I don't
here.
want to do either.
Wonder if I should just like.
I've discarded.
Is it a really bad failure?
I don't know.
No, I just return a hand. Something fails.
Than you imagined. So one of them becomes an ability. One of your cards you can put in your hand.
So there's no major fallback from failing that.
Except yeah, I would just lose yet another card.
You would just lose more cards. I can attempt it.
Go for it.
I don't have anything that helps me do it, but
I don't think we've seen that key icon anywhere yet.
yeah, it would just be something that would. We haven't really seen anything that helps us with the top end of these cards. But maybe that's something we see at a later point with more cards, maybe.
Yeah.
Unless someone else wants to, I'll attempt this one.
Well, let me help you. I've seen them come and go in here. If you're just gonna pick it, I think I can help out.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna get involved?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
getting involved.
Okay, so I need to reveal 2 cards. I don't have any items that I'm gonna get involved or anything like that. Because that's the first thing I have to choose, right?
Okay, there's 1.5. Nice.
You're doing real good there.
Good, you see the half a star.
So I just need. Well, the problem is I can only choose 2 cards.
Or more. Remember?
You only get to
2
keep-
is what you revealed.
But out of all the ones that I reveal, I can
You only
only
can only
choose
keep
2
2.
to affect it.
Right,
which
because
is
it's chained.
super hard.
Because they're changed.
So just go until you get, well, you need 3, so you just need 1 card with 1.5.
But he can't turn them over. His next ones he does has to put face down until he chooses how many things he's going to
He's got to
gamble
decide.
to
And then-
try to get another one of these.
Is there some-
Even that's not enough.
That's 1, 2. No, that is. If I got another 1.5, that would make
Oh
3.
yeah. Sorry, boy, math is harder than I
Well,
thought.
you could
So maybe hope
could
for
choose-
another 1.5.
You could choose 2 and reveal both, though, right?
I had half to reveal.
Yeah, but he only gets to
whatever I
keep
choose.
2 cards of all of them.
So maybe just do
How
2
many
additional.
cards does it take
I
for you
mean-
to get another 1.5 successes?
Well, I mean, what's the fail is not that bad.
No, the fail's not that bad.
No.
So I'll just do 2. Yeah.
Perfect. That's all you need.
You did it.
They were
Okay.
both good.
More than
Okay,
enough.
so
I knew you could do it.
I succeeded.
Well done.
The door swings on its hinges with a creaking sound. Banish this and replace it with 031.
There's another 0.
There is yet another.
Ooh, golden.
The golden rule.
Dun dun dun.
You push open the door to the storage room where an earthy, damp stench fills the air. Several shadow weeds give off a pale light blue gold glow. Shadow weeds.
Nice. And so it's another turn card.
It is.
And that would be the
Some
end
sort
of my turn.
storeroom.
That is it. How about OJ goes?
Oh, I've been wanting to get into
OJ's
this
turn.
room. Out of my way. Good job.
So you're going to do a move action over there?
Yes, I pretend to do a card, but then I don't do a act card. Is that how that works?
No, you have to
Secrets.
because no one's there.
You're the active
Oh,
player.
wait,
and
what
then
are
you
you
choose
doing?
an action.
He's doing a move.
So you could choose an action from
Okay.
one of these.
But he's choosing to move into this
Yeah, yeah.
space.
So I'm choosing
he's
to move.
choosing
So I
his.
just do this. So I face up.
Yes.
Oh, that's fancy.
And now you can
That
pull
goes
that
into your
back
hand.
into your hand.
Because
I'm gonna
that's
keep this.
that's what that
Oh,
comes in, right?
it actually costs you an extra one.
Well, wait a
Oh,
minute.
Read
yeah.
a card where
Yeah.
there is
That's
another
everybody.
character.
It costs
So-
you 2 cards.
That's
oh,
what.
no one's in there, so I can't.
OJ.
Yes.
It costs you 2 cards to move in.
Because on this terrain you have this mandatory action
Okay.
associated with it, so you have to draw 2, and you get to choose one of those to put into your hand, and the other one's discarded.
And then all of us become involved.
Because right here
No, if it was white and it was the
is right
action we
here
were
the
taking,
success
it would.
is this plus is this
But
one
this
hand.
is more like an
Okay.
effect on an action, right? So like it's like
But
these,
it's a
but it's
manda-
mandatory.
It's a mandatory.
addition to the action.
If anybody's doing this kind of action
Okay.
here, that has to be applied. If he's doing an action that has one of these, this is something I can put on it. Otherwise, I couldn't. It has to have that. It has to be that kind of action.
All right.
But it's
I'm
not
in.
an action itself. So it's not a mandatory
Ooh,
action.
Shovels and spades and what are the little cloth?
Okay, so this was the action to move, though, right?
Yeah. So it cost him 2 cards
To
to
move
do it.
out.
Yeah. All of us are gonna have to spin that to move out of here.
But this isn't the action he chose to do. The action he chose to do was on his player card, which is the move.
Right.
Apparently, we all have a cane.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a shovel. Maybe it's the end of a
It
shovel.
should just be a walking stick.
Is that different?
Yeah.
It looks like a walking stick. It's a walking stick.
Okay, it's a walking stick.
Okay.
Look, one day I might end up having to use a cane.
You will be using
Like,
a cane
relatively soon.
after I break your kneecaps.
I'd be willing to take another turn just to like poke
Yeah,
around
just
here.
yes, do one of
And,
those
and
while you're in
they're
there.
and they're free, so
Yeah, all 3 of those in there are free, kind of free
Okay, let me
actions.
just look in the corner first. over
You wanna
there.
look in this corner?
Yeah, I feel good about that corner over there.
Oh, there's only one of those.
Oh, great.
Can I have my
Section of ceiling has
Your what?
collapsed in the
God, the
corner of the
M&Ms.
room. Looking through the opening above your head, you can make out the angular shape
What's in the ones?
of a piece of furniture hidden in the shadows of what appears to be a bedroom. Oh, there's a bedroom up there.
Nice.
The opening is. Oh wait, are these like? I don't know. The opening is too narrow for you to slip into the room on the floor above. But if you try hard enough, you should be able to squeeze your arm through.
This
Into a bedroom?
event card.
Yeah. Put this over on that
Oh, it's over here.
side.
Okay.
Whoa.
I can't reach. I'm old.
Interesting.
But there might be something up here in the ceiling.
Okay, Drew, what do you want to do?
Why would you choose the 4 successes?
Because you have to do that if you have a card with the keyword weakness.
Oh, gotcha.
Uh-oh.
Which I
Not it.
don't, luckily.
Who's the active player?
Oh, you.
Okay. My action is I could choose.
What?
What?
This is
I-
the way it's,
I decided collectively it was Drew's turn.
it's just Drew's turn.
No, it's fine.
It doesn't really seem to matter at the moment.
Now I could play from my hand, right?
An action that's there, yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna play the second wind.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Okay, what's that action require?
I'm gonna do the +6, which means I have to choose another card to discard.
Okay.
And that gives me the top 6 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know. I guess
Okay,
on
and then you just you shuffle them in. It did say shuffle. And then you would discard those 2.
Uh-oh.
These are not the most shuffleable cards just yet.
Okay.
And with it being
that,
your game,
discard
how
that.
aggressive do you want us to be with the shuffle?
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
It's irreplaceable. So
All right. Active player again. I'm gonna
3
choose
years to
another-
buy it.
So I have to move to here before I choose.
You're yellow, so you'd have to do a move action to
That
get to
was
here.
your.
if
That
you're
was
wanting to do it.
an action.
Right. I'm again
Are you
the
doing
active
another
player.
action?
I'm again the active player.
We decided collectively you're taking another turn.
If you
That's
all
fine.
agree,
That's fine. Go for
I'm
it.
the active player.
I second the motion.
I could take another action. So
You could do a move action to this terrain card if you're wanting to. Are you trying to go to do this?
well, if I trying to get to these others, maybe maybe I'll
Do
just
the move
open
here
that.
or do the exploration here? Really?
I'll just gonna do this one.
Okay, so for
All right.
that again,
Flip this.
Yep. What do we got?
The passageway is filled with a thick gray cloud of dust thrown up by the falling rubble. Your feet scramble unsteadily over the rocks on the floor, slowing your progress and making you check your balance at every step. Okay, I've got the run. It's chained to 1 action card. Success of 1 star. Okay, so do I have to do that or I don't?
hold on.
You don't.
No, you-
So the
I'm just
action was the
revealing-
exploration.
I'm
All you
just
did was
revealing the
reveal it.
action. Okay.
Now it's like, do you want to try to run through that corridor? To try run through whatever it takes to get in
kind
here?
of waiting to move because with
Hold
every
on, let's switch
move,
for a second.
it's going to cost me.
Can I see the other instruction manual?
Yes, you can. There you go.
So this doesn't get discarded yet?
No. Right? It's an event.
It's a permanent event, not a temporary one. Okay. So this just gets added
So it's just
here.
there until somebody does this.
But it's, yeah.
And at which point it gets turned into that one.
Yeah, after this is done, it's then discarded the past, and then, okay, yeah. If someone decides to do that action.
I keep going poking around in this room here again. Let me look at this other shelf down over here.
42.
If that's what you say.
I believe you.
I'm not number certified yet, okay? So don't want to be assuming anything.
Don't want to be assuming you would be able to read a number.
Several barrels stand against the wall, and a number of full hemp sacks lie on the floor. The barrels are empty. With a hard shove, you could roll one over to use as a support. Why would I? Your attention is drawn to the bags, apparently filled with compost. Strangely, one of them seems to be quivering. Ooh.
Someone's hiding.
Why are there so many people?
Methinks.
There's something in
Seems
one
to
of
be a
these
lot of
bags.
people.
This is like a free action.
Well, you know, that dirt ain't gonna
This
dig
one's easy.
itself.
So this is a.
Yep.
Isn't it? Was that the one I did?
Yep.
Yep, that's the one I did.
So this is an optional. If you do a climbing action. If you do a climbing action while on this card, while on this terrain, you can add this for a guaranteed star, for a guaranteed success.
If you do this kind of action.
Yeah, if you do that kind of action while on
Oh,
this
that's
terrain.
this thing.
So while on this terrain, while doing that, you can
Oh.
you can
use
add
the
minus
barrel.
2 to that.
You get 2
card
less cards,
requirement.
but a guaranteed success.
Yeah.
It costs you 2 less cards, but a guaranteed star.
So revealing everything potentially helped us with doing that.
Should make this, yeah, that one easier.
That's interesting. Here, let me look and see what's on this other wall.
Are you gonna open the other one? Okay.
Well, we have to agree that you're still the active player.
Do we
Do
vote?
we all agree?
You guys want to move in here?
Okay, go ahead.
I suppose. Unless he finds a weapon, then I
Adamantly disagree.
then I disagree. I mean, me being the soldier here. 20. 30? 30.
All right. In the most military fashion, the overseer is a former legionnaire after all. A few iron tools are organized on a rack. What are these? Sieves, baskets, and buckets hang from the wall as well. Spade, a hoe, a rake. You cannot decide which of these tools would be the most useful. Hey, there's some hoes.
You got some, wait, you've got hose?
There's some hoes in the house.
There's some hose. There's some hose.
Sorry, I apologize. Yeah, so if any of you want a weapon, I don't know if I'm going to
Well, it's a
weapon, but I'm going to
tool.
climb up. I could possibly climb up this barrel and see what's above.
For Taj.
And I
That's
start.
Taj.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Taja.
That works.
I seem to be the kind of person who's supposed to have a weapon.
So do you want to move into that terrain and try to grab
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. So I'll move there. That costs 2 of these, correct? Because I'm
Well,
moving
it only
from here.
has to cost 1 if you want, because there's someone in there.
He's already in there. Okay, I want it to only cost 1, and I can use it as a second, keep it as a skill, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, that's a second wind thing too.
Nice.
Oh, mine's different than yours was. Okay, and then
Do another action.
Well, look, this is.
may
That's
I
a
grab
free-
a?
that's free.
Can
It's a
I
free
go
action.
again
Yeah, go for it.
and grab a weapon? It's gonna like crumble in my hands or like be a.
What is that? 89? 39.
And it's a star, so like if there's not one available, we can't. Oh, there's multiples. But we're not supposed to look at them, right?
No,
So-
you're supposed to randomly pick one.
You
Which
close
at
your
this point,
eyes
any of them is random.
I want
and
the
reach
middle
for
one.
the shelf. I want this one.
A flail,
A flail?
an agricultural tool used for threshing grass and grain. Anyone who might stand in your way. That's a weapon. It's an item.
Nice.
It'll make me more strong and hurt things more. -2. But I can convert, that means I can convert my fists into.
So On
into
in the revealed
successes.
cards, if this top area has those symbols,
It's question marks.
So
So
that's a
any
wild-
of
like a wild
these,
card.
any of those, if you can
They
get
can
3
become
of them,
successes.
can become a success. Yep,
okay,
that's a good item. Actually,
I'm gonna find things to kill for us.
how heavy is it?
Just one.
It's just one heavy.
You know what I like?
Is that an additional heavy though, or is it?
It's one. It's one of my heavy. It's one of my weight, right?
Right. I think it's just at this point
Yeah,
it's
so
I
just
don't understand
one.
your question.
Oh, sorry. Well, I'm sorry. I'm just saying because
you don't start
these
off-
ones we get don't have a weight associated with
Right.
it. So I'm assuming
This
these are
one
just
is
a
a weight.
free.
Right.
This is just a free.
These aren't even
item.
items.
They don't
Mine's
count.
not an item. Mine just says listen for the word Abermund.
Well, what I'm saying is this is technically a free item because it's not actually an item that
Oh, right.
requires weight.
That'll
it's a
actually
skill.
And
show
so any
weight on
item
it.
that actually takes up weight will
like
show that
your,
icon.
Taj over there
It's
weighs
like
3.
not your skill, but it's like a trait.
It seems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously it's not gonna weigh anything.
You guys could probably use a weapon too. I think.
Wait, does that thing stay there? It's just always there? Anyone can just walk up and just grab a weapon?
No.
Yes,
Really?
as long as there's a card left.
Oh.
That's why
There
that's
might
why,
not
that's
be
why there's the
there
diamond.
might not be a card, but if there is a card, you can do this action.
So
I
what
happen to
was
know
this
how
again?
many of the 39 cards there were.
So we can maybe come back and do this one in a minute.
You should probably come get a
But I should probably come get a weapon.
weapon.
I'll do a move.
There's not an unlimited number of weapons, but
there are a
some
few.
of us may be able to have a weapon.
I'll come grab a weapon if that's all right with everybody.
Not all of us, but
I will do a move action, revealing a card and adding this. Hey, I got a second wind. And then
I don't fully understand mine yet.
And then I'm gonna get a weapon.
I'm gonna choose you a random weapon.
Well, that makes me more nervous. But
Good. Haha, that's the one you get.
I got a hoe.
You.
Yeah.
Of course you did.
It's about time.
Of course, I got a hoe.
About damn time.
So for fights or the shovel symbol, I can get a success during the consequence step. Roll a die, and if you roll a 1 or a 2, discard this. But otherwise, I add a success. So there's like a chance of this breaking.
What?
So I can add this to a fight or
Yeah.
a dig action, automatically get a success, and then during the consequences, if I roll a 1 or a 2, this breaks and I discard
The
it.
dice finally come into play. Okay.
So I can use this, but there's a chance it breaks on me.
Oh, mine does that too. I didn't read that part at the end. Yep.
Sounds like you're not
They can break.
letter certified.
No, actually not letter certified. I believe that's been a running joke at multiple companies and multiple scenarios where I'm definitely
It's become
not
a recent running joke for me
letter certified.
that I can't read.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
OJ?
pushed this barrel over to the corner.
Yeah.
If any of you want to hold it while I climb up,
Oh, I can hold it.
if you want to get involved,
I can get involved, but it's
Well,
actually not going to help you at all. I'll hold this steady for you, though.
while I climb up the corner.
I can do that.
Okay.
So you have to have a.
Which one does he do first?
Well, he's
grabs-
He's
he's
technically
doing
doing
this.
this.
Oh, this one?
And this can be added to it. So you can. Right now it requires 4. You can make it require only
What's
2.
this action?
This is just a separate action to do something.
I think it's like to
Okay,
grab
you're
the
doing
barrel,
this
I
one.
thought.
This one. This is the wiggly sack, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the wiggly sack.
Get
Okay.
whatever item that is.
You're doing this action, which is reach up into the bedroom. That only your arm can reach into the bedroom.
So, yeah, maybe.
Only your arm fits in the bedroom. What is this a bedroom for?
I don't know.
Is it a
ants?
bedroom?
So if you want, you can
It's a room.
make it only 2 required cards.
It's required that this be part of it.
It's not required.
But how is
Oh, because it's
This
not
is
the red.
optional. It doesn't have a red border.
Okay.
but
Doesn't
how
that
is
help?
this optional
does help.
when it's over here, not over there?
I just
Like,
wanna-
Because you're on this terrain, any of these cards that have this arrow pointing in are part of this terrain. So while you're on here doing something, all of these cards are in effect.
Got it. Okay.
And because this has like a little bonus thing that you can
So
add
this
to
is
an
only going to
action.
cost him 2.
Do you have
possibly
any
2.
cards with the keyword weakness?
Nah, I ain't weak.
You just okay.
Unless it's in his draw pile.
So you can make it just 2 for a guaranteed success, or require 4.
I'm using the barrel.
Okay, so you're required to do 2.
Okay.
Reveal
Whatever
face
that
up.
means.
So 2 face up
Okay.
are required actions.
How many successes does he need?
He only needs 2 successes.
That's 2 stars.
He had a
Well, no.
guaranteed 1, and he got another 2.
Only 1. That's 1 success.
Oh yeah, he only needs
Yes.
1 more of those, right?
Yes. So he succeeds, and you can read the success consequence.
Your hand touches what appears to be the leg of a reading desk. Feeling around, you find a book that has fallen on the floor. You manage to grab it with your fingertips before stepping down. Take card 50 and banish this.
Oh, I've heard of books.
Okay, so
And you now discard both of those.
I can discard both
depending
these.
on the action, it'll tell you whether you can
Yes.
keep one of
So right
place
here,
one in your hand.
if he had failed,
That's what-
he would have been able to take 2 back.
And keep them in his hand.
Yeah.
But he can only have a max hand of 3, which means he'd have to discard 2 anyway.
You feel through. You leaf through the book. You have just found. Oh, there's no. Where did all the pictures go? I'm only used to books with pictures in them. One chapter mentions the virtues of the flaginaceae. What the?
Oh, good.
It's a fruit.
Oh.
When eaten raw, permits the transfer of some mental energy to the body. Oh, it's like cocaine fruit.
Is this an item you get to add to your items?
It's a book.
Top right symbol,
Yes, it's a book.
or top left, sorry.
Top left is a picture of a book.
So it's a quest item, which means it goes up here.
Oh. Here.
So it's another action someone can take. If you succeed, which it's a free action, you get to shuffle 1 or more of your action cards back into your action deck, and or return your "You Are Confused" card.
You look confused. Would you like to return your card?
I'm gonna find some of this cocaine fruit.
Cocaine fruit.
Doctor said it's good for my health. It's good for my heart.
You must discard 1 card if you decide to do this action. But one of I don't
one
understand.
card goes
I don't
back
understand
in your-
which action card though, because it's not saying in your hand. I'm not sure which ones are actually shuffled back in. I don't know if it's a discarded one, so it's not that.
You have, in order to do this, you have to be on the same terrain as this plant, which we haven't seen yet. But you learned about it.
Oh.
I think we'll see this on the terrain card.
Oh.
So if you're on the terrain with that plant, and discard 1 of your action cards,
Ooh.
It's one hand.
you must be on the same. If you want to take this following action, you must be on the same terrain card as this plant and discard an action card. Shuffle 1 or more of your action cards that you drew for this probably back into your action deck and or return your You Are
It doesn't
Confused
say
card.
draw. That means hand. So any of your hand.
Oh, from your hand? Okay. Shuffle
Well,
1
hold
more
on.
of your
Discard
hand cards
one
back
hand
That
into your
hand
card.
doesn't necessarily mean. That's just an act. That's just the symbol for any action for an action card.
Well,
But it might be the ones in your hand it's referring to, putting back into your action deck. Which is
Yes,
weird.
you're right. Skill card in your hand.
So really, in order to do this,
'Cause
you're
other-
going to discard something from your hand, and you take one of those and put them in your action deck. But, or
Or you can shuffle one of these back into your action deck. So you can. It's basically an option to shuffle one of these back into your action
one
deck.
or more. You can shuffle all of this back in your action deck.
Yeah. So if you don't
But
want
you
what's
do
in
have
your,
to discard one of them
yeah.
and no longer be confused. That might mean something later.
Yeah.
I want to take my second wind action.
So another thought, real quick. How At one point, we were deciding we were going to
Oh.
stop at certain times. It's 10:20.
Oh.
I don't know how late
Go 10 more minutes.
we were wanting to go.
10:30 is stopping time. Does that
Okay.
sound right?
Starting to drag.
Okay.
Okay.
Unless you guys.
No, we were talking about when we playing this game,
Wanna
we
go
would probably
further?
do more like a timed specific thing and not
Time.
just play to the end of a scenario because we have no idea
Time
what
box
that looks
it.
like.
I'm assuming this is going to take multiple
Hours.
weeks.
Yeah.
Wait, and every threat begins with this. This is the start of every threat we do ever.
Yeah. And so I'm
what-
assuming it's like spending multiple weeks gathering
Building
equipment, going through
what-
lots of cards.
Your
And like,
character.
What even is the threat?
We didn't
The
choose
monsters?
one
It was
yet.
the worms? Is that.
The main threat of the whole world is the worms, but we're gonna choose probably one of these two,
Which we
at
haven't.
some point.
or the throne one, right?
Oh.
Nadokim's Awakening, and then there's just more stuff we're gonna do, and this will start differently.
I'm assuming at some point we'll be reading something that makes us choose a possible threat, or there's a card we'll draw that'll tell us what threat we're facing. And then when you add in expansions, you're adding in those cards as a possibility
Yeah, I mean,
for
we
a threat
haven't
you
even
choose.
touched this.
This will have like 5, 6, 7 scenarios in it that you'll play through before you get to the end. Which yeah.
Cool. All right.
Which I'm assuming right now we're just doing the basic.
Learning
Threat
how to
scenario.
play and get here's how you start every story. You start every story right here. I want to take my action of Second Wind. My Second Wind is to block this. I get 5 back into here. And then choose 1 card from my discard to put in my hand. When you do this, do you choose which 5 to put back in here, or is it the top
random.
5?
It's supposed to be random.
And then whatever's remaining.
I
So you
choose
probably-
the top 5 randomly.
And you have 1 remaining.
The active player may randomly take up to X cards from their discard pile and shuffle them back into their action deck.
Okay.
So if
How
we
do
want
we
it to be actually random, we could do the thing we did in Gloomhaven where you fan them out and I choose 5 for you or whatever.
Yeah.
Brandon really wants to decide your fate.
Nope.
I like ruining your
That game's
your
over.
thoughts.
Nope. That game got packed up.
It's still here.
Okay.
It's still mine.
If you guys. Are you done? Or do you want to keep going?
No, that was my action. It's like I
kinda-
needed to get my cards
Since
back.
I'm here.
You need to put that underneath your character card.
Yeah.
Since I'm here, nobody else is. I just want to get this out of the way.
Okay.
So that's gonna cost me 1 at minimum, right?
And you have to get a success.
So I'm gonna go with.
And you can only so
We do 3.
you have to choose
But
one.
only one of them.
Put it
will-
face up.
Okay.
So now
And then you can choose more.
I'm just gonna do 2.
and then of these 3 cards you can
'Cause
because
I-
it's
'cause-
chained, you can only choose one of these 3
Only
cards
one
to
of
be
them-
the actual card.
Only one of them's gonna
see,
work.
that changes things.
Right,
I'm
now
not,
it's
because I'm not
gambling.
hoping for another half. I need like.
You need
You
one
need
of
a-
those to be a full because this didn't work.
Okay.
Uh huh.
So if you've chosen, yeah, you can now flip them over.
Okay.
you go.
Good.
Okay.
So was the success?
Do
So
these
flip
even
them
matter?
over. Yeah, flip them over because you get to choose one of them to go
Oh yeah, because of
back
that.
to your card, back to your hand.
Accurate shot. That's what I want. Whoa, Bisley.
So you've made it through. You get to take one of those, put it back in your hand. This is discarded, and now this number 19 is placed. Is revealed.
God, I don't know. Do I want accurate shot? Oh yeah, I do because look, I get an extra. I get a lot of whatever all this means plus. I
I think there's another weapon in that tool shed, by the way.
Yeah, I think I was gonna try to grab it.
Cool. Nice.
You want the other
Unless
weapon?
one
We
of
need
you
to
guys
read it.
need 2 weapons.
We need to read it.
Yeah, read
It's a
it.
terrain card. Yeah.
You make your way down the corridor, leaning against the walls to avoid collapsing with each new tremor. It is as if you know every slab having walked these halls far too many cycles. At dawn, to the garden, and at nightfall, exhausted, back to your cell. Strangely, you feel a mix of worry and relief as you walk through this familiar setting. By the end of the day, there will likely be nothing left of this place. Was I supposed to read that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the quarter you just crawled through.
Yes
But
and
am I in it?
no. No. It's been revealed.
Well, this is for me.
Okay.
Oh, I get an axe. Look at this little axe. This little axe of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Cool,
Alright.
it's a weapon.
Should we
Okay.
call it there?
Sure.
Okay, yeah.
If it is a terrain,
I
the
didn't
player
do
will
any-
now be able to move to this new terrain card by performing a move action.
Okay.
So I don't know if that means just on the
Well,
next
not
action
that
it's
yet.
now
I
available to
could
move on.
choose-
You can just move there now.
I could, if I remain the active player.
Yeah.
So
I'm
really,
gonna- I'm just gonna wait because it's gonna cost me every time I move. It's gonna cost.
Yeah.
at this point, there's whatever that sack is, and then just moving on.
I'm tempted to
I would like a weapon. That would
look
be
at that
nice.
sack.
But is it worth 2 cards?
There aren't any more. There aren't any more.
He's saying there's not any more.
There's not any more.
Oh, no more weapons.
No.
No more 39s.
Nope.
No moss.
Did you get a weapon?
I did.
Does yours
Axe?
also break if you roll
Nice.
poorly?
Uh.
Oh. All right.
Consequences at the bottom?
Yeah.
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 Trinket secondary. You gotta look up like inventory because is there a
What?
certain can you only have one of those or 3 of those? Do those start meaning something? I'll have to do more reading this week.
Yeah, I'm gonna try reading the destructions again.
Now they might make
Now
sense.
it might make a little bit
Now
of sense.
we'll read them again and see.
So far,
It's pretty
it's all making sense to me. But maybe that's because I have the instruction book in front of me as I'm reading it.
You're reading the whole.
Oh,
yeah,
those are
as you go.
special. Those are special keywords. I bet.
Yeah, in the corner.
Oh, probably.
So the keywords are the things in the bottom of your items.
With in red, right?
Well,
Like
all cards will
ambush,
have keywords
evasive.
somewhere, but like this is cumbersome.
Like my hoe is a weapon.
Oh yeah.
Mine is a trinket instead of a weapon. Although it looks a lot like it is a weapon. All right,
We did it.
I think that's where we pause.
That was pretty good.
Thanks, Internet. See you on a future Wednesday.
I think next week we're still good.
We're still good for next week, probably.
Yeah.
So.
It's like the week after that we're just gonna be real hit or miss.
Okay.
I
Most
should be
likely-
somewhere in the state of Utah, I hope, by 6 o'clock. We will see.
Sounds good.
Thanks for surfing in.
Jim.
Do the things and click the buttons and all the stuff. And love you.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.